This is NBC-owned Channel 4, following in the proud tradition of NBC Sports.
In our commitment to high school sports, Channel 4 presented its first telecast of the 4A championship in 1982. That year, Cherry Creek played Regis in the final. Creek's Scott Whitehouse returned this punt, and the Bruins took state 22-13. In 1983, Creek did it again, this time against Pomona. The difference, a Chris Rule pass to Chip Lyon. The final, 13-7. In 1984, it was North Glen over Arvada, behind the passing of Jason Whitmer. Brad Peters makes the touchdown catch. The final was 21-0. In 1985, Lakewood upset Cherry Creek in a big way. This Terry Elliott touchdown pass was one of many in a 48-7 Lakewood win. 1986, Cherry Creek makes the final game again and redeems itself. Brad Rule scored 3 times. This fake reverse went a long way for a touchdown, and the Bruins pounded Pomona 35-7. And last year, it was Chuck Snowden running Fairview to the state title over Cherry Creek, 13-10.
Channel 4 Sports presents Colorado High School Championship Football. Today, live from Jeffco Stadium in Lakewood, it's the Class 4A Championship game between the Montbello Warriors and the Pomona Panthers. Today's game is brought to you by the Public Service Company of Colorado, by Miller Stockman, by Samsonite, and by Central Bank, all proud companies for Colorado, and also by Milk, America's Health Kit.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Les Shapiro, along with Marcia Neville and the coach, Dominic Capra. We are at Jeffco Stadium in Lakewood, and it's baseball weather. But the calendar reads December, so we are here to decide the 4A football champion for the state of Colorado. It's second-ranked Pomona, the Panthers, against 8th-ranked Montbello, the Warriors. First, we'll take a quick look at Montbello. Under second-year head coach Ben Gregory, Montbello has a 10-3 record on the year overall. In the playoffs, they are a perfect 3-0 with wins over Golden, Rangeview, and Alameda. On offense, Montbello is led by number 10, the fine quarterback, a fine athlete, Ollie Williams, and he will be handing the ball off to any number of running backs. They have a fine running game. They average a little more than 24 points a game. On defense, Montbello is one of the best in the state, a little more than 10 points a game, led by a fine trio of linebackers. Keep your eye on the man in the middle of that linebacking core, number 98, Bill Polk. And now for a look at the Pomona Panthers, Marcia Neville.
Les, as you know, Pomona is led by a strong 1-2 backfield punch in Joe Parisi and Brian Schneider. Parisi's explosive speed up the middle is what has helped key Pomona's success through these playoffs. But should Montbello be able to shut down Parisi, as they did Alameda's Gonzales through the middle last week, then look for Brian Schneider to have a big game. He came out of the regular season as the state's 6th leading rusher and averaged more than 8 yards a carry during the regular season, so he could come through with a big one for the Panthers today. The Panthers finished the regular season a perfect 10-0, and through these playoffs, they are now a perfect 13-0. First, they beat Fort Collins, went on to beat Overland, and then last week needed the big defensive play to beat Thornton 21-14. Offensively, they are averaging just over 29 points a game. Look for them to grind those points out on the ground. They're not going to throw too often, and defensively, they're giving up just over 10.5 points a game. So the thing I think, Les, that could key Pomona is if they have a quick enough defense to stop Montbello.
All right, thanks, Marsh. For some other keys to look for in this game and some key individuals, here's Dominic Capra.
Les, if you compare these two teams, they're really quite similar. They both like to run the ball, and they do it quite well. They commit themselves to the run by lining up 3 backs behind the quarterback. If you want to compare size, I think we have to give the edge to Pomona. If you want to compare speed, then obviously you have to give it to Montbello. And we talk about Montbello's speed, then you have to look at Ollie Williams. He's got great speed and great quickness. He's the kind of player that stops on a dime and gives you a nickel change. If we want to look at Montbello's size, we have to look at the linebacking core. There's 3 great linebackers there with Dixon, Polk, and Wallin. If we talk about Pomona's running game, then we have to concentrate on the fullback, Joe Parisi. Joe has 30 touchdowns and rushed over 1,500 yards. Probably the person that typifies Pomona's size is Brian Diet, a Division I prospect, 6'4", weighs 220. He made the decisive play last week against Thornton by intercepting a deflected pass and running for a touchdown. On paper, I think these teams are quite equal. Pomona's size is offset by Montbello's speed. The decisive factor today very well might be the kicking game.
All right, thanks, Tom. So there are a few secrets. Whichever team runs the ball more effectively probably will win this one, and it could very well be decided by a turnover. We'll be right back for the kickoff.
Central banks, connecting with your business, building superior relationships, taking our ideas, services to corporations, small businesses, anywhere we can make a difference, and we can make a difference. Central banks, you'll be hearing from us.
The heartland pours it on real tall. Help kick, milk that kick. The deep south says, come on, y'all. Help kick, milk that kick. The East Coast drinks milk at work and at play. The high country drinking milk every day. In the USA, there's just the one thing to say. America's favorite help kick milk.
Gorgeous weather out in Lakewood at Jeffco Stadium. As you see, a nice view of downtown Denver from our camera up top the stadium. Weather conditions gorgeous. Temperature 50 degrees. Humidity 19%. The wind very calm, blowing slightly across field from east to west. Shouldn't be a factor in today's game, especially since neither team passes the ball all that much. Certainly different from last week, Dom, when temperature was hovering around 0, and if you were in a fur-lined parka, that might not have been enough.
Exactly.
This is the 68th annual title game. The officials for today's game. Our referee is Bob Meshko. Our umpire, Chuck Scheel. The line judge, head linesman, I should say, is Chuck Lowen. Line judge is Kirk Smith. And the back judge is Ron Scholes. Interesting story about our umpire today, Chuck Scheel. This is his very last game after 22 years officiating Colorado high school ball. He's been an official 34 years altogether on the high school level around the nation. Scheel works for the phone company in Broomfield, and before the game he gave the other officials a lucky silver dollar each one is carrying around in their pocket. The coin toss was won by Pomona, Dom, and Pomona deferred to Montbello, and Montbello decided to receive the kickoff. Why would Pomona defer the choice?
Les, both of these coaches, particularly Gary Clyde, the experienced coach, he knows that most games are won in the fourth quarter, and he wants the ball coming out in the second half, and that's why he deferred and decided to let Montbello make their choice.
All right, for Pomona, you will see Kelly Alvis kicking off. Fairly strong leg on Kelly Alvis. The return men for Montbello are number 3, Mark Cruz, number 21, Willy Malloy, and number 5, Joey Turner. Pretty good kick down to the 5. And Montbello lets it go. A little bit of a mix-up between Malloy and Turner.
Excellent point, Les. Thing about it is you can tell there's a miscommunication back there, and you can't let that happen.
All right, let's set up the Montbello offense for you. At quarterback, Ollie Williams. The 3 running backs will be BYRON Henry, Harvey Patton, and Willy Malloy. On the line, at tight end, you have Bill Polk, and the split end is Donald Reynolds. In the middle of the line, Freddie Smith, Reggie Whimbush, Jason Christy, Cecil Dixon, and Coby Stewart. Quite a few men on Montbello's team go both ways. The first handoff is to Willy Malloy, and he gets about 5 yards across the 25. On defense for Pomona, that was Craig Sheriff making the tackle. He's at right end. Then we have Shane Rapola, who had a great game last week against Thornton, Sean Clark, and Brian Diet. At linebacker, Pomona has 4 of them. Roxy Caminello, Israel Gallegos, Matt Swenson, Mike Devlin, and in the backfield, Alvis Schneider and Gurley. They give again to Malloy. Doesn't get much.
So we talked about the intro, Les. They're not going to do anything fancy. Both these teams are going to run right at you. Montbello's in their power I set with 3 backs behind the quarterback.
Gain of 2 yards for Malloy. It's 3rd down and 3 to go. Malloy, the leading rusher on this Warriors team, 1,100 yards over the year and 16 touchdowns. He's a tough kid. You'll watch him pick the holes very well today. 3rd and 3. And again, Malloy. Looks like he's just short of the 1st down.
Excellent job by Caminello, the inside linebacker. Gallegos, stepping up in there and making the tackle.
Smiling Izzy, they call him, and he's smiling right now after making that tackle. Montbello will go back into punt formation. Their punter is number 82, Myron Dawson. 33-yard average on the year.
Coach Gregory told me he didn't want to get into a punting game with these guys, but that's a pretty good kick right there.
That's number 14, John Quintana, taking the punt and bringing it across the 45. So good field position for Pomona, starting with the ball. Let's set the offense for Pomona. You have Andy Anderson, that should be Andy Johnson at quarterback for Pomona. Joe Parisi, Lance Pratt, and Brian Schneider in the backfield. On the line, you have Diet, a fine tight end. Rick Rensink, Derek West, Mark Bogas, Kevin Smith, who is being replaced by Sean Clark this week. Sean Clark replacing Smith because Smith has a bad ankle he suffered in practice. And the first give is to Parisi, and he gets a couple of yards for Pomona. The defense for Montbello, across the front, you have Shaw, Stewart, Antoine Torrey, and Freddie Smith. At the linebacker, this is unusual, just 3 linebackers in high school, Donald Wallin, Bill Polk, and Cecil Dixon. And the defensive backs are Eric Winn, Byron Henry, Andre Strode, and Chris Sanders. 2nd down and 8 situation for Pomona from their own 47. You see the 3 running backs stacked up behind the quarterback, and the give goes to the 2nd man through. That's Lance Pratt. A nice gain into Montbello territory across the 35.
That was a good call on the part of Gary Klatt. In that first play, they shut down the inside fullback play. Now we're going to get the double dive. We're going to get the dive to Parisi, and then we're going to get the handoff to Pratt outside. We get a pretty good block on the perimeter, and Pratt hits it outside, picks up some pretty good gain.
Pratt doesn't run the ball much, and maybe that's why Montbello was a little surprised by that play. Usually at the beginning of a game, Pomona will just hammer it out with Parisi and Schneider, but Lance Pratt picks up about 18 yards on that. They're starting from the 37. This time they give to Parisi. He gets a couple across the 35.
Pomona came out with something a little different for them. They came out called trips. They're going to put 3 immediate receivers out to the right, and all they're trying to do is make Montbello adjust, but then they just came back with the inside handoff to Parisi. Inside trap. Gary told me earlier in the week that he wanted to make Montbello adjust. This is the formation he wants them to adjust to.
2nd down and 7 from the 34.
Come on, baby. Come on.
They give to Schneider.
Hey, you got him.
And he gets it across the 25 of Montbello. Andre Strode on the tackle.
We saw this play last week, but not quite the same way. They're going to hit the thing up inside with Christy on a fake, but they're going to pull the right guard. They're going to pull Derek West. You can see him coming, number 79. And here's, again, Schneider on the outside. It's kind of a sweep out of robust. And it's been pretty effective. They ran it with Pratt to the left, now Schneider to the right.
Well, Derek West has pretty good training at that offensive line position. His brother plays at Colorado State. In fact, his brother brought the whole CSU team home for Thanksgiving. I'm sure Mom was thrilled with that prospect. Here's the pitch to Schneider. They go the other way now. And another nice gain, down to about the 15.
Again, Pomona's doing a good job of mixing it up. They came inside a little bit. Now they're starting to come outside. That time they came with a quick pitch. You can see right here, Johnson pitching the ball. We'll see Habercorn, number 75, out leading the way. And Snyder's following. Snyder does a good job of reading the block. Excellent call.
This is probably much different from what Ben Gregory and Montbello has seen all year from Pomona. Pomona likes to hammer the ball inside, through the center, through the tackles. Now they've gone outside more often than not, and that might be keeping Montbello a little off balance. 2nd down, 2 yards to go. They give to Parisi. I think he's stacked up a little short of the 1st down.
Well, I think it's an example of the respect that Gary has for those linebackers up inside, and I think that's why Gary's starting to move the offense to the outside with the quick pitch and the outside sweep out of robust.
And fine linebackers they are for Montbello. Cecil Dixon, Bill Polk, Donald Wallin from left to right. Ben Gregory says they are all Division I prospects, and so far we haven't seen anything that would tell us otherwise.
Right now, Pomona's in the driver's seat. They're 3rd and short, and that's where they want to be. They're in 4-down territory, so they're in great shape.
3rd down, 1 yard to go for Pomona. They give it to Schneider wide again. He'll get the first down and maybe more. Down to the 5-yard line. Byron Henry and Andre Strode finally tackle him.
Same play they ran just a little bit earlier with West pulling outside and leading the way for Schneider. Boy, that's a great picture right there. We're going to see Derek West out in front leading the play. Schneider's going to hug his escort guard. Boy, look at his determination on that young man. He's got great size, good speed, 6'3", 195.
Let me ask you a little about Derek West, Dominic. He is 6'6" playing guard. It's unusual for a guard to be so tall, isn't it?
Yes, and this is something we talked about last week, Les, how well Pomona runs both offensively and defensively, and I just don't mean their backs.
1st and goal from the 4. Parisi gets the handoff and gets a couple yards, down to about the 2. Number 55, Dee Wallin. Number 55 makes the tackle. Dee Wallin.
Well, he's been a workhorse for them. Joe Parisi, number 20, has over 1,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and he's the man they're going to feature in that robust, the fullback. He's the key player in the robust alignment.
Even more impressive than the stats you gave. Just in the 3 playoff games, 11 touchdowns for Parisi, almost 600 yards rushing. 2nd down and 2 from the 2. It's Parisi again. He is in, standing up. Pomona draws first blood.
We get a chance to look at this, Les. We're going to see a great block by Sean Clark and T.J. Habercorn, number 75. They did a good job of turning their man out and create a little seam in there for Parisi.
Again, Sean Clark starting at that left guard spot in place of Kevin Smith for Pomona, who has a sprained ankle he suffered in practice.
The off-tackle dive right there. Boy, what a hole. Good job up front, and they've got the horses. They weigh, on the average, 204 pounds, and the height is 6'3".
Extra point put up by Kirk Moyle. It's good. So with 6:17 left in the first quarter, Pomona takes a 7-0 lead.
Are you waiting to buy a video game system?
Well, now's the time because the best video games just got better.
Look, buy this Atari 2600. It's under $50 and plays hundreds of games.
Or this Atari 7800 with arcade-like graphics.
And get 2 games absolutely free. And there's more. Buy any 2 action-packed game cartridges and get a 3rd game free.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
So why wait? See your Atari dealer for details today.
Hello, I'm Dan Reeves, Channel 4, and I want to remind you that Christmas is the time to care for the needy of Colorado. Show your care by supporting the Salvation Army Christmas Drive. Give to the Channel 4 Share the Spirit canned food drive and drop some change into the red Christmas kettles. Support the Salvation Army Christmas Drive because it's time we all care about Colorado's needy.
Share the Spirit donations can be sent to the Salvation Army, Post Office Box 2369, Denver, Colorado 80201.
So it didn't take Pomona long to get on the scoreboard. 7-0 on this touchdown run by Joe Parisi.
I suspect we'll see a great deal of Christy and the great job that they're doing up front. Well, there's a lot of pride on offensive line. They take a lot of pride in themselves as a unit, and that's what you have to have because you're not going to get a lot of glory when you're an offensive lineman. But you can tell those gentlemen have a lot of pride in themselves and their ability to execute.
Kelly Alvis will do the honors off the tee for Pomona again. And receiving the ball for Montbello will be Cruz, Malloy, and Joey Turner. Sidewinder type kick taken off the sideline by Joey Turner. He's a sprinter. He's got good speed. And he gets it to about the 20.
Kyle Rego did a good job of breaking down and wrapping him up. This is a big series of down for Montbello. They have to respond right now, get some momentum, put something on the board, of course.
Well, now wait a second. We're halfway through the first quarter. Can this be a key series for them on offense?
I definitely think it is, Les. I think that, right now...
Psychological standpoint?
Exactly.
Okay. They have to know they can run the ball against Pomona because if they can't run the ball, they are in big trouble.
The worst scenario for them, of course, excluding a fumble or an interception, is 3 down, punt out. Then they got to give the ball back to Pomona, good field position, and the way they can run the ball, that is Pomona, it could lead to a long day.
First and 10 from the 20. Willy Malloy gets the handoff and gets a couple of yards. Shane Rapola on the tackle. Well, Shane Rapola last week against Thornton and quarterback Tom Atwood was like a water bug all over the field, in Atwood's face all day. Really didn't let the passing game get going for Thornton. Second and 7 from the 23 to the first man through, Harvey Patton, and he gets it across the 25.
Montbello's going to have to come with the option here. They're going to have to take the ball to the perimeter shortly. They're trying to feel inside. They're trying to feel their way, and they're not having a lot of success. We're going to see right here just the inside dive to Patton, the fullback. He breaks it back to the inside. And again, Pomona's doing a good job with their linebackers, Gallegos and Swinton.
That was good pursuit by Craig Sheriff. He looked to be out of the play, but came back and made the tackle. Third down and 3. Ollie Williams sprints out and pitches to Malloy. And he is racked up pretty good by the black shirts.
We're just talking about, you could just see it coming. They knew they had to get the ball to the outside with the option, try to get speed to the perimeter with Ollie Williams and Malloy. We see right there, Ollie stepping in, then pitching the ball to Malloy. Tries to square the shoulders, but pursuit, and the force man comes up too quickly. Turns the play up inside.
Kyle Rago made the tackle there. Montbello, 3 downs and out. As you said, Don, they are punting. That's Myron Dawson. Pomona lets the ball drop. A little bit of a Montbello bounce, and it'll be down at about the Pomona 33-yard line. So Pomona with not too bad field position once again, and a chance to make this a 2-touchdown lead. We'll be right back.
Central banks, connecting with your business. Building superior relationships, taking our ideas, services to corporations, small businesses, anywhere we can make a difference. And we can make a difference. Central banks, you'll be hearing from us.
The heartland pours it on real tall. Help kick, milk that kick. The deep south says, come on, y'all. Help kick, milk that kick. The East Coast drinks milk at work and at play. The high country drinking milk every day. In the USA, there's just the one thing to say. America's favorite help kick milk.
You're looking at Montbello head coach Ben Gregory, 42 years old, a guidance counselor at Montbello. Interesting history from this man. Graduated from Nebraska in 1968. He was a fine football player there, a linebacker and a running back, a captain his senior year for the Cornhuskers. Drafted by the Buffalo Bills in 1968. His roommate, Dom, was none other than O.J. Simpson. They were both rookies that year. Ben Gregory was the blocking back for Simpson, as is every running back that plays for O.J. Simpson. Hurt his knee in his second year with Buffalo and was done with the NFL. Pomona with the ball on the 34-yard line. This is Schneider going outside again, or at least trying to go outside. He is racked up by number 77, Cecil Dixon. Right now, let's go down to the sidelines and Marcia Neville. Marcia?
Well, guys, we noticed during the first Pomona possession that we saw a lot more of Brian Schneider than we expected to in that offense. With me now is Brian's dad, Don, and who's a math teacher, by the way, at Pomona. I'm wondering, does a son tell a dad that he should look for him a little more often, that that's the secret weapon in a game like this?
No, he pretty well tells me, we talk a lot about the football. He doesn't necessarily should look more for him. The team's done real well this year. They've really a good group of kids. They all care a lot about each other, and they really support each other. It's really good.
Did you know that the offense was going to involve him as much as it has so far here today?
Well, kind of at the beginning of the summer, yes. I talked to Coach Clatton. He was kind of indicating that he might be more involved at the beginning of the year, so it was real nice.
Dead ball! So far, a very proud father. Back upstairs to Dominic and Les.
Thanks, Marcia. Mr. Schneider is going to be a busy man today watching Brian run the ball, if the early part of this game is any indication. We just had a penalty on Montbello, costly penalty. 5-yard penalty that makes it 2nd and 6 for Pomona instead of 2nd and 11 yards to go. The give to Parisi. Gets it across the 40.
Yes, I'm not surprised that they're giving the ball to Snyder and Pratt more. If you're a coach like Ben Gregory, the things you say to yourself is when you come in on Sunday morning is you've got to stop what they do best. And, of course, you watched them last week because they run Parisi best. So you got to come in.
Offense.
Let me finish my thought. They're going to come in and shut him down. And, of course, that's going to leave somebody else open. In this case, of course, it's Snyder and Pratt running the sweep to the outside.
Well, you saw some flags on the field. Pomona called for holding, and Montbello will take the penalty. Send the Panthers back to their 32-yard line, their own 32.
Holding on the offense, still 2nd down.
Talking to Ben earlier, this is the kind of situation he wanted to put Pomona in. He wanted to put them in 2nd and long and 3rd and long, take them out of their comfort zone, make them think about the play they want to call. You know, it's not all that difficult in a sense to call, dive right and dive left. But boy, when you have to start thinking about making up excess yardage, you have to think about it a little bit more.
Pomona splits 3 receivers to the left. They are going to pass. Off balance, Andy Johnson gets it to his man at the 45-yard line. And his man is number 3, Kelly Alvis.
Good comeback route by Kelly Alvis. You see Johnson sprinting to his left, trying to get to the perimeter, pulls the ball up. Doesn't really do a good job of setting his feet, but that's not real important because he does a good job of delivering. And Elvis runs a good route and comes back for the football. And that's the key to being a good receiver, coming back for the football.
And most importantly of all, he gets the first down. Pomona 1st and 10 from their own 45. Back to the robust formation. Those 3 running backs in the backfield, and they give it to Schneider inside. Doesn't get much.
Little crossbuck action. Fullback going one way, Schneider coming back the other way. Some little misdirection plays with those linebackers. Kind of confusing.
Harvey Patton in on the tackle. Patton, one of 6 Montbello Warriors who played both ways, offense and defense. He's a 6-foot, 160-pound senior, very disciplined ball player. In fact, he likes the idea of going to the Air Force Academy. And I guess you have to like discipline to want to go to the Air Force Academy. 2nd down and 8. That's probably why you and I would never get an appointment there, Dom. Johnson's going to pass again. And he completes the pass again to Lance Pratt, who might go all the way. Stopped at the 10-yard line by Andre Strode, who saves Montbello another 6 points here.
Talking to Gary, this is the thing he wanted to do. He wanted to keep Montbello off balance, and they're doing it very well by mixing up. Little dive to Parisi inside. Good block by Schneider on the perimeter. Johnson gives you his good touch by giving the ball to Pratt on the flat pass. And Pratt shows some speed taking it up the sideline.
What Pomona does with the play action, faking the run and going back to passes, they sucker the Montbello linebackers up to the line of scrimmage, and that leaves a running back like Lance Pratt open out in the flat.
Exactly. They have flat coverage, and you're not getting there.
1st and goal from the 9. Parisi for a couple yards.
Well, I'm impressed right now the way Pomona's mixing it up. They're throwing a little bit, passing a little bit, trying to keep Montbello off balance. Linebackers aren't quite sure. Step up and read run, get the pass coverage, and that's the key to being a good offensive football team. Don't let that defense get in the groove.
Well, we said it could come down to turnovers because both teams like to run the ball so much, but none of us ever said it could come down to which team can complete a pass or 2. And so far, that's what it might be coming down to. Pomona surprisingly effective with 2 passes so far. The pitch to Schneider, he'll get stacked up pretty good. It looks like a loss of 1.
Much better job by Montbello. Turn that pitch inside and help coming from the inside from the linebackers on pursuit.
Schneider thrown for a loss of 2 yards there. An interesting stat, Joe Parisi, he carries the ball so much, has carried it all through the year. He has never been thrown for a loss. So right there, Brian Schneider eclipses Joe Parisi's mark for the year just on 1 play. Montbello takes a timeout, gather their thoughts, decide how they're going to stop this vaunted Pomona rushing game, and we'll be right back.
Pete Babcock and Danny Shays for Kaufman's Tall and Big Shop.
You know, in the 15 years that I've been around the league, I traveled from city to city looking for clothes that are different than the typical big men shop.
Kaufman will go out of their way to help people, and whether you're a pro or not, it doesn't matter.
I'm always looking for a clean, crisp look that's very professional, and Enro provides that.
With all the traveling I do, I need some great casual sportswear. For fit and style, Enro is the company for me.
The American Express card is preferred at Kaufman's, where everyone is treated like a pro.
Go ahead, shop the Fur Salons, but if you want to save 50% and more off their prices every day, come to the Fur Boutique in Tiffany Plaza. This $700 Saga Natural Blue Fox jacket is just $2.99, and save $50 on this genuine mink teddy bear for $69. Fabulous furs and a great selection of eelskin accessories, all at the lowest prices in town. The only place you can shop evenings till 9 and Sundays till 5 and save thousands of dollars on glamorous furs. The Fur Boutique at Tiffany Plaza.
7-0 Pomona. Could be more in a little bit. Right now, we go to Marcia Neville on the sidelines. Marsh?
Thanks, guys. For the Pomona sideline now, one thing to look for close in here to the goal line is Brian Schneider, number 4, against Bill Polk, the linebacker for Montbello, number 98. The two went to China a couple of years back playing for a basketball team here from Colorado. They're real good friends, and Polk very nicely asked Schneider earlier in the week which side he preferred to be hit on. So the two have been going back and forth all week and have been looking forward to an all-black and silver final all year long. So good friends here and bitter enemies at this point as Pomona tries to punch in yet another one. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Marcia. Might be even more bitter if Pomona can get into the end zone here. A pitch out to Schneider. He wants to throw. He does, but it's incomplete.
Little razzle-dazzle there. They came with the option play, and then they're going to let Schneider throw the ball. And I tell you one thing, after talking to Gary this week, is that he's going to pull out all the stops. If you take a look right here.
Going to the big tight end, Brian Diet.
Right, counter dive to Parizzi. Schneider's got the ball, throwing it on the run. He takes a pretty good shot. I guess that was, I saw Diet get up and imploring the referee to throw the flag, but he didn't get one.
3rd and goal from the 7. They will attempt a field goal, and this is Kirk Moyle. He's only kicked 2 all year, made 1. And the kick is good. So Pomona going to a weapon they haven't used much this year. And I need to correct myself. That was Kelly Alvis kicking the field goal. He usually comes in for the longer field goal attempts. That one, a fairly short one, and it's good. So Pomona takes a 10-0 lead. We have 31 seconds left in the first quarter.
You know, in a sense, I said it has to be somewhat of a moral victory for Montbello. You know, even though they gave up 3 points, they didn't give up the 6 and possibly 7. So that might give them a little momentum, and they may get some decent field position. They have to get on track, and I think they have to do it quickly. I know the discouraging thing for them has to be, I would suspect from Coach Gregory's point of view, is that they haven't had a lot of success inside. They tried to run the option. To them, that's their passing game. That's how they're going to get the ball down the field, and they didn't have a lot of success with that.
Dom, how much of a factor is it that Montbello has so many kids going both ways on the field at all times, and Pomona is just eating up the clock and running over them left and right?
Well, you wouldn't think it'd be that much of a factor early, but I definitely think it'll be a factor later in the game. So we'll see how things transpire.
Willy Malloy receives the kickoff, gets it to about the 20. So Pomona will start again from the same position it started the other 2 times it's had the ball, deep in its own territory at the 20-yard line.
The one thing that I will say, Les, is that obviously if you're a two-way player, you're not going to get the kind of repetition that you do if you're a one-way player. You know, you're not going to get to spend the whole day at practice on offense or a whole day on defense. So that definitely does cut down your reps.
I was also referring to the fatigue factor. This is Byron Henry for a couple yards. And that's the end of the first quarter. When we start the second, Montbello will have the ball. They need to do something.
This holiday holiday season, surprise that special someone with a magnificent fur at a fraction of retail salon prices only at the Fur Boutique. Choose from fabulous minks, raccoons, coyotes, beavers, and more, including this sensational $700 Saga Natural Blue Fox jacket for $299. Plus great gift ideas from our complete line of Vilskin accessories. And while they last, save $50 on this genuine mink teddy bear for $69. Open evenings till 9, Sundays till 5. The Fur Boutique in Tiffany Plaza.
The heartland pours it on real tall. Help kick, milk that kick. The deep south says, come on, y'all. Help kick, milk that kick. The East Coast drinks milk at work and at play. The high country's drinking milk every day. In the USA, there's just the one thing to say. America's favorite help kick milk.
Come home to the home team, only on News 4.
Well, there's another state championship being decided today on the 3A level. The title game is down in Grand Junction at Stockert Field between the Grand Junction Tigers and the Durango Demons. And throughout our broadcast today of the 4A game, we will be going to Grand Junction periodically to check in on that 3A title game. Montbello has the ball on its own 25-yard line. Second down, 5 yards to go. We are just beginning the second quarter. Head coach Ben Gregory needs to get off the field a little quicker because his kids are ready to play ball. Ben went out to the huddle during the timeout between quarters to spur his charges on. It's Harvey Patton doing some dancing, and he's going to go all the way. Nobody will catch him. We said Montbello had to do something quick, and they just did. Keep in mind, though, there is a flag on the field.
Les Montbello came out in a slot formation or a twin formation, and then it came right back up inside with a little trap play, and Patton broke it to the outside, and that's what Gary was concerned about, and the penalty's going to be against Pomona.
A face mask call against Pomona. The play will stand, so Montbello needed something quick and got it from Mr. Harvey Patton, the 6-foot, 160-pound senior. He really did a job here. He saw nothing ahead of him, so he did some dancing to the outside.
Great athletic effort there. He hit up inside on the quick trap. They shut it down. He broke back to his left, hurdled one of the Pomona players, and broke down the sidelines. And that's what Gary was concerned about, giving up the big play, because they have such great speed.
Roxy Caminello had a shot at him, but couldn't push him out of bounds. Flag on the field for the extra point attempt. Jeff Tarantino
dead ball,
will be kicking it.
Snap infraction, offense.
That'll send Montbello back 5 yards, so instead of a 17-yard kick for the extra point, it'll be approximately a 25-yard kick. It's good. So the score from Jeffco is now 14-7, and we have a ball game once again. Excuse me, 10-7.
There's Broncos, and then there's Broncos. But the bottom line is always Wrangler jeans. Wrangler is the official brand for the Denver Broncos and the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. And Miller Stockman is where you can get your Wrangler jeans. Guys and gals can save $5 on every pair of black or gray cowboy cut jeans, now just $24.99 at Miller Stockman. So whether you're riding them or rooting for them, Wrangler's your jeans and Miller Stockman's your store.
Maybe we missed some opportunities in the past because we probably weren't as flexible as we could have been. That tends to make you take a long, hard look at the way you do business. And if that includes rewriting your own set of rules, well, that's what you do. Because these days, to compete, you do whatever it takes. You learn to depend on your greatest strengths. Things like knowledge, creativity, and hard work. People. And you don't find them in any rule book.
We talk about football being a game of inches. We're going to see Snyder try to wrap up Patton. Doesn't quite do it. We're going to take a look at this, and we're going to see Patton's foot just miss the outside out of bounds. He keeps himself in bounds. He scoots down the sideline for the touchdown. Like I said, so football's a game of inches.
Well, on the previous play, I believe the point after, there was a personal foul incurred by one of the Pomona Panthers. And the penalty will move Montbello upfield on the kickoff. They will be kicking off, believe it or not, from the Pomona 45-yard line. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Les, I tell you what, some coaches like to go for the onside kick here. And the reason why, because even if the ball goes only 10 yards, you're still going to get Pomona starting their offense on the 35-yard line. I don't know if that's in Ben's repertoire as far as the kicking game, but it'll be interesting to see what they do here. So it's a great opportunity for the onside kick.
Sounds like a good strategy to me. Let's see what Montbello does.
He's putting the ball down on the field. He's not teeing it up.
The kicker, Dee Wallin, has placed the ball on its side, unlike most kickoffs where you place it upright on the tee. So look for the onside kick here. No, he puts it in the air.
Trying to squib kick it. Good kick if that's your intention.
John Quintana gets it up across the 20 on the return.
Obviously, Coach Gregory elected to go for the squib kick, and it was effective.
The score 10-7 from Jeffco. Pomona on top. That last drive didn't take too many plays for Montbello to put it in. We talk about them not being a big play offense because they don't pass the ball much, but they get as many big plays out of the running game as other teams might get out of the passing game. Andy Johnson to pass deep, and there's a flag on the field. The pass is incomplete to number 3, Kelly Alvis. Johnson laid it right in there for him.
You know,
Alvis couldn't hold on to it, though.
Excuse me, Les. I have to admire Gary Klatt right now. You know, he's backed up. He's not hesitating. He's going to pull out all the stops. He's throwing the ball when he's backed up, when he's got good field position, or if he doesn't have good field position.
Let's hear the call from the official.
Holding on the defense.
Well, that's an automatic first down for Pomona. The pass was incomplete, but the play worked anyway, Dom.
Exactly. And that's one of the advantages of threatening deep. Sometimes good things can happen to you. I know a lot of people say 2 to 3 things are bad when you throw the ball. But the thing that the passing games give you, we take a look right here at Kelly Elvis, is it gives you an opportunity to move the ball down the field quickly.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Pomona from its own 37. Pretty good crowd here today at Jeffco. The stadium seats 10,000. I would say there's a good 6,000 or 7,000 in the stands, and people still coming into the stadium. Good turnout on a beautiful day. Johnson will throw again. Or maybe he won't. Andy Johnson sees 3 white shirts ahead of him and goes down to the ground at about the 33, gain of about 1.
Well, we're seeing Johnson do here today some things we didn't see, against Thornton last week. Trying to mix things up.
Well, we have a holding call on Pomona. I'm sure that doesn't please head coach Gary Klatt. Gary, 43 years old. He's in his 4th year at Pomona and has taken the Panthers to 4 straight outright league titles. We have a hurt man on the field for Montbello, number 77, Cecil Dixon. They can hardly afford to lose this young man. Division I prospect at linebacker, being recruited by teams all over the Pac-10 and the WAC, CSU, Wyoming, Air Force, Utah, all city on offense and defense the last 2 years. You lose a man like Dixon, you lose a lot.
Well, that whole linebacking core is superb. They all have good size, good speed. They're definitely the crux or the key to that defense for Montbello.
All right, some first quarter statistics for you. All Pomona, 5 first downs to none for Montbello. Pomona held the ball almost the whole quarter and led 10-0 after that quarter.
The thing that impresses me is the balance, 62 and 51 respectively.
After that penalty, it's 1st and 20. Pomona stays conservative, gives to Parisi, and he gets a couple yards. Let's go down to Marcia Neville for a few comments from the sidelines.
You know, looking at that Harvey Patton touchdown on tape, I know it looked real fast. I just happened to be down in the corner of the end zone when he was coming down to score that one. You want to talk about someone quick and someone with a mission. You just look in his eyes, and he knew right where the corner of that end zone area was and just knew where he was going. I looked up, and he was right on top of where he wanted to be. So as quick as it looks on tape, down here, he is really, really fast. Just wanted to pass that along and let you know what it looked like from down here.
Thanks, Marsh. That was Brian Schneider on the carry. He didn't get much either for Pomona. So it'll be a 3rd down and long situation.
Again, this is a situation that Coach Gregory wanted to put Pomona in. 3rd and long, 2nd and long. Take them, again, out of their comfort zone. Make them think about what they want to do. But I tell you, the thing about it, as I've watched the game progress, I don't think it's going to cause all that much difficulty for Gary. You know, he's mixed it up pretty well. He's throwing the ball.
Well, to be exact, it's 3rd and 19, and they are going with a quick kick. That's Brian Schneider. A fine move. He gets off a pretty good punt. A little bit of a Pomona bounce. Look at this. Ollie Williams decides to pick it up and run with it. Surprises everybody, except for number 88 on Pomona. That's Brian Diane who pulled him down.
Great reaction by Ollie Williams. Did a good job responding to the punt.
And we'll be right back.
What does it take to make a big idea? If your big idea is to supply McDonald's with everything, including 500,000 buns a day, it takes a lot of dough. That's why Mile High Frozen Foods came to the Colorado National Banks for their corporate banking services. At the Colorado National Banks, we make big ideas happen.
The heartland pours it on real tall. Help kick, milk that kick. The deep south says, come on, y'all. Help kick, milk that kick. The East Coast drinks milk at work and at play. The high country's drinking milk every day. In the USA, there's just the one thing to say. America's favorite Help Kick milk.
Gary Klatt pulling out all the stops here. We see the pitch back to the tailback Snyder with a quick kick. I think it's an excellent call. Good way to get yourself out of a hole and change momentum and give your defense a good field position.
Puts Montbello back at its own 33-yard line. A 10-7 ball game. Montbello can be patient now on offense. They pitch to Malloy, who gets it to the 35.
Montbello not having a lot of success with the power game. Trying to come off tackle between the two lead backs, and they're just not getting good movement up front.
Well, the Pomona linebackers are doing a good job. They're not real big. In fact, there's only one guy back there that's over 6 feet tall, and that's Matt Swenson. All the others, 5'10" and under. Nobody weighs 200 pounds. They're not big, but they're quick, and they have a lot of heart. And they're able to negate the quickness of Montbello and the running backs.
Hey, look out!
Williams wants to throw. He goes deep. That's number 36 on the reception. And number 36 is Tre Anchrum.
Ollie Williams showed a lot of poise. Got a little pressure from Diet. Hung in there pretty tough. Put the ball over the defensive back's head. We see it right here. Williams pulls the ball up, pulls it down, sprints to his right. Again, does a good job of laying the ball over Rago's head, making the reception possible.
First down, that's number 30, Byron Henry, and tripped up. He had a lot of open field ahead of him if he didn't get tripped up.
I think that Coach Gregory has seen what's happened to him, and now he's starting to realize he's going to have to mix it up. A little option, a little pass, the inside game, try to keep Pomona off balance defensively.
Matt Swenson made the play-saving tackle on that one. Second down and 5 from the Pomona 33. Williams with the give to Henry. Again, nothing up the middle for Henry. He takes it outside, but nothing like the last time he did that. He gets it to the 40. Mike Devlin on the tackle.
Clark, Rapola, Gallegos, and Swinson, those 4 people inside are doing a good job of shutting off the inside trap. And anything that's happening is happening on the perimeter for Montbello.
It'll be 3rd and 3 for Montbello. The give is to Patton, and he's stacked up.
Lester, something that Coach Gregory sees that leads him to believe that he can run the inside trap. But they're not having a lot of success initially with that play. We can see right here, you're going to see the guard pull, try to block the first man to the right of the center. And again, Pomona's doing a good job of stacking it up. Clark and Rapola are doing a good job of shutting down the trap.
We hear a lot about how good Brian Dyett is on the defensive line for Pomona, but the last 2 weeks I've been even more impressed with Shane Rapola. His pursuit, his quickness, his ability to be wherever the ball is. 4th and 3. Montbello going for it. And Ollie Williams will keep it and get the first down.
You know, Montbello's been kind of hot and cold on and off, but the thing you can see is that they're sometimes just a step away from breaking the play. That's twice now. Once with Henry and now with Ollie Williams. Comes down the line with option, concentrating on the perimeter. He takes a step inside, gets a lead block. And right here, we're going to see somebody tries to get a hand on him. He just gets tripped up. And lucky for Pomona, because with his kind of speed, he will be gone.
Ollie Williams has the speed and the size of some other fine option quarterbacks around the country on the college level. In fact, Ben Gregory thinks Ollie Williams can one day lead a Nebraska or Oklahoma to a Big 8 title. Sean Clark makes the tackle. That was number 32, Ken Kelly, seeing his first action as a running back for Montbello. 5'10", 165-pound junior. It'll be 2nd down and 8 yards. So Kelly gained a couple on that play.
We've talked about Pomona not wanting to be in the 2nd and 3rd and long, but they've responded pretty well. They've had some success. Now we see Montbello in this situation. Now it'll be interested to see what Coach Gregory comes up with to try to pick up the first down.
Well, Montbello uses another timeout here. That's the 2nd timeout, and Dom, correct me if I'm wrong, each team gets 3 timeouts per half, not including the television commercials, which there will be plenty of today. This telecast is an exclusive presentation of KCNC-TV and the National Broadcasting Company, and is intended for the private use of our audience only. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this telecast without the expressed written consent of KCNC-TV is prohibited.
Unless you're talking about taking the timeout, and I think that Coach Gregory right now wants to make sure that he gets the right play in the ball game, that everybody knows exactly what's at stake here in a sense, because getting down this close, of course, is an opportunity that they can't pass up. They have an opportunity to tie the game up, and they don't want to miss it. Excuse me, go ahead if they score the touchdown.
2nd and 8 from the Pomona 20. Williams will throw. Wide open. Byron Henry for the touchdown, and Montbello takes a lead.
I tell you, I really like the call, because I think that's what Coach Gregory needs to do. He needs to open them up a little bit, not play so conservative. You can kind of tell that Pomona's been here before, and Montbello hasn't. I think Montbello's playing a little tighter. Now they're starting to get the poise, starting to loosen up a little bit. They're going to sprint to the left. Williams is going to turn around and throw the ball across the field, and Henry makes a good catch and gives Montbello the score to go ahead.
I'll be honest with you, Dom. Going into this game, I wasn't all that excited simply because of the philosophies of both teams. Grind it out, run the ball. Personally, I like to see a little bit more of the passing game, and surprisingly, pleasantly, in my opinion, we are seeing more of that. We're seeing a more wide-open game, and when you're down to the state final game, you need to open things up a little. Take a few risks.
Les, I totally agree. Now, I tell you what else, too. When you get to a game like this and you're evenly matched, it's probably the things that maybe you don't do best that might be the decisive factors. You run the ball, maybe it's your ability to pass that'll make the difference. So I think that's the makeup of a championship game, to bring the best out in your team and to call upon all your resources.
Well, once again, Montbello on its extra point attempt is called for a procedural penalty, so it'll push Tarantino back, but doesn't bother him much. The kick is good, and Montbello, halfway through the second quarter, has a 14-10 lead.
Maybe we missed some opportunities in the past because we probably weren't as flexible as we could have been. That tends to make you take a long, hard look at the way you do business. And if that includes rewriting your own set of rules, well, that's what you do. Because these days, to compete, you do whatever it takes. You learn to depend on your greatest strengths. Things like knowledge, creativity, and hard work. People. And you don't find them in any rule book.
At Coast to Coast, Colorado's hardware store, our people have one job, helping you find the things you need around the house. That's why we have over 1,000 shades of paint and more than 100 ways to put it on, plus the electrical and plumbing supplies, hand tools, power tools, car care products, and all the nails, bolts, nuts, and screws you'll ever need at Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast, Colorado's hardware store.
We take a look at the pass here. Ollie Williams does a good job of getting the ball downfield over the linebackers. The thing that's impressive here is watch the hit by Snyder, and Henry still hangs on to the ball. And that was a critical play for them, and that's impressive. That shows a lot of toughness, and he knows he's in a championship game.
That's as ferocious a hit as I've seen on the high school level all year, and Henry holds on to it. Dee Wallin will be kicking off for the Warriors. If you hear the name Wallin a little more than usual today, it's because there are two of them on the field. There's Dee, who kicks off, and Donald. They are cousins for Montbello. Donald is the right outside linebacker for the Warriors. Number 21 for Pomona, that's Kyle Rago. And he gets it across the 20, almost to the 25. Now, to Marcia Neville on the sidelines. Marcia?
Hi, gentlemen. I don't know if you've noticed here on the Montbello side of things, the different color uniforms that the cheerleaders are wearing. The red over there is Denver East, and the green and white George Washington High School, the Patriots, coming over to join the ladies from Montbello. That's kind of a tradition with the Denver Prep League. Anytime one of their teams is competing in state, the cheerleaders from the other schools show up to offer their support, so maybe that's one of the reasons why Montbello's ahead on the scoreboard. Back to you.
Thanks, Marcia. Pomona with a running play for a couple of yards. That was Joe Parisi. Antoine Torrey and Byron Henry make the stop.
Well, the complexion of the game has changed drastically, Les. It'll be interesting now to see how Pomona handles being 4 points down now.
Second down and 7 situation for the Panthers. We have approximately 4 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first half.
They haven't been shy so far.
Andy Johnson fumbles the ball, I believe, but it goes out of bounds before anybody can get their hands on it and fall.
Well, those are the kind of big plays that can change the course of the game. Right now, Pomona dodged the bullet by having the ball roll out of bounds.
That'll be a loss of 2 yards for the Panthers. So it'll be 3rd and 10 from their own 25. Well, the last time they had the ball with 3rd and long, they punted it. A quick kick. If they line up in I formation again, you might look for that again. But no, they line up in their usual robust formation with the 3 running backs behind the quarterback. Johnson will throw, and Johnson will get good pursuit. To Schneider, he has the first down if he holds on to the ball and gets it almost to midfield.
You know, we talk about the robust, we talk about those 3 backs, Schneider, Prizzi. We're going to see Johnson get a little boot fake. He's going to roll to his left. He gets a lot of pressure. Sprints to his left. Gets the ball to Snyder. Coach Cladd told me he feels that Snyder is probably one of the best receivers in the league, maybe in the state. We see Johnson pull the ball up, throwing the ball in the run. That's tough to do when you're a right-handed passer and you're going left and you push the ball around the mark, and that's That's a good job there.
1st and 10 from the 48. Parisi with room. He has one man to beat. Tries to turn the corner. Gets it down to the 25-yard line of Montbello. Andre Strode on the tackle. Well, you don't see Parisi turn it outside too much, but you see he does have the speed to do it if necessary.
The off-tackle play, they had a lot of success last week, and again, it's been good to him right here. Again, I think the big difference is, Les, is that Pomona's doing a much better job to keep Montbello off balance, and that's why they'll be able to maintain the ball.
From the 29-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Parisi, this time he goes up the box. No gain. Bill Polk the stop. Bill Polk is given a lot of leeway from his middle linebacker position. Ben Gregory lets Polk call the defensive signals without any input from the sideline. Very coachable young man, knows the game, good instincts.
They have 2nd and long. Now it's going to be, we'll see if Montbello decides to send some people, put some pressure on Johnson, assuming they're going to throw.
2nd down and 9 for Pomona. Goes to Schneider outside, and he pulls over a couple of white jerseys, takes it across the 20.
Pomona going with their bread and butter play. A little sweep with Derek West leading the way. We see West, number 79, pulling out. Get a good steal block by Pratt. Good knockdown block by West. Schneider breaks it outside, and he's big and strong, and he runs over. As we look, I tell you what, when they're having success on that sweep, what they're doing is they're sealing off the outside, and that simply means they're just walling off. They're neutralizing the outside defender, allowing the back to turn the corner.
1st and 10 from the 19. This is Parisi. And he is met by Donald Wallin. How do you do? Almost to the 15 on the carry. Aaron Shaw also in on the tackle.
Gary's been pretty creative. You know, they got 2nd and long. They don't need to panic. They're still in 4-down territory. I know I see the Montbello coaches telling their secondary to prepare for the pass. Look for the pass.
2nd down 7 from the 16. It's Parisi again. He's dragged down quickly by number 51. That's Timothy Polk.
Montbello doing a good job.
We should mention Cecil Dixon back in the game for Montbello. So he came off the field shaken up early in this quarter, but he's back on the field now. 3rd and 5 for Pomona. Johnson will throw. In the flat to Schneider, who almost makes a nice leaping grab. Probably a good thing he didn't catch that ball. He wouldn't have gained anything out of it because number 2, Donald Wallin, was right there.
Excuse me, you have to commend Montbello's secondary. Did a good job on coverage.
It's a little odd. Number 55, Dee Wallin, a different color helmet. Gold helmet for Montbello. Everybody else is wearing silver helmets. Let's take a look at that last play, the pass to Schneider out in the flat.
Little play-action pass. He hits the tail end of Johnson's throw. A little high. Schneider tries to bring it down. He's got great athletic ability. He is a great athlete. But again, we can see right here, Montbello's doing a very good job on coverage. Little play-action pass. Gets some depth. Johnson sets his feet. Tries to deliver the ball, and the ball sails on him a little bit. A little too high for Schneider to handle.
Donald Wallin was right there, read the play beautifully, a 6'2", 215-pound senior. He used to live in Colorado, then went out to live in California, and just transferred back this last year to play out his senior year at Montbello. A real nice surprise for head coach Ben Gregory. Ben didn't know much about Mr. Wallin when he came into school, but now he knows plenty, and he likes what he sees. Donald also plays fullback on offense every once in a while.
Pomona going for it here, right? Let's fourth and about 4 or 5.
Pomona forgoes the field goal attempt. Johnson will throw. A little dink pass. This is to Lance Pratt. He picks up the first down and a little more. Down past the 5-yard line, or to the 5-yard line.
Nice call. Betsy call. Comes out. Pomona did something a little different there. They didn't come out in their traditional robust backfield. It was called trips. They're going to have 3 receivers to the right. We see Pratt, number 24. He gets held up a little bit, then releases to the flat, and he finds himself open because the other 2 receivers are going to clear it out for him and allow him to get into the vacated area.
First and goal from the 5-yard line for Pomona. They want to try and take a lead before the half ends. We have 1:50 left in the first half. They give to Parisi. Gets a couple yards. Fred Smith on the tackle.
Have to admire Gary Klatt pulling out the stop. He's not backing off. 4th and long. I don't think there was any doubt in his mind. He was going to go for it.
Tom, you might agree with me here. I'm pretty impressed by the poise shown by quarterback Andy Johnson. Last week, he felt the pressure a little against Thornton, but this week he's coming back. He's completed every pass but one that he's thrown today.
Well, we talked about this last week, Les. He's not, you call, a prolific passer, but he does have a nice touch. He's perfect for that offense.
That time, Parisi carries the ball down to about the 1-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 1 for Pomona.
1-yard line. 3rd down and goal. Timeout.
Pomona takes a timeout.
57 seconds remaining for the half.
The boys will grab a little sip of water. Coach Klatt makes his way out onto the field. Settle things down. They'll probably have 2 chances at this touchdown. I can't imagine them going for the field goal on 4th down and 1, not with their tremendous running game. So you'll probably see Parisi on the dive both times, wouldn't you think?
Well, I think that's a pretty safe bet. If you're willing to go 4th and 5, I don't think there's much doubt you'll go 4th and 2 or 4th and 1. And I think that just exemplifies the confidence that Gary has in his offense, and rightly so.
You get down to here, you stick with what's worked all year.
They're big and they're strong, and they've got some muscle, and that's what they're going to try to do. This is their field to play, if you will. This is where they like it. The field's contracted. They can get into you, get movement off the ball.
So what does Montbello do here, Dom, if you're the coach? Do you bring in an extra linebacker, a 4th linebacker? Do you bring in an extra lineman, a 5th lineman, and stack it up in the middle?
Exactly. They'll bring in that extra lineman. You'll try to get penetration, try to get into the gap, try to make something bad happen for Pomona and something good happen for you, maybe get a turnover or something. But that's exactly right. You have to bring in that other lineman, fill up all the gaps, and try to get a lot of penetration.
From the 1-yard line, the Panthers, with less than a minute to go in the first half. It's Parisi. Is he in? No touchdown signal yet. And I guess he didn't get in, Dom. I see no arms upraised by an official, and Pomona will take another timeout. Eric Winn made the tackle there. 5'9", 145-pound senior from Montbello.
Listen, as I look at this situation, I can't help but recall what Gary told me earlier in the week. He said the thing that he wanted to make sure is he gave his kids every opportunity to win, that he made the right call. Now, obviously, this is a critical situation. They know they have to score. They want to get the lead. And I'm sure the thing that's going through his mind when they call this play is, I've got to call the right play. I've got to give my kids every opportunity to be successful. Now, I know he has a lot of confidence in their kids, and I would undoubtedly say they have a lot of confidence in Coach Klatt. On the other side of coach, of course, Montbello, again, has to get great penetration. Make sure they have all their men covered in man coverage, because most teams will play man coverage down here. They don't want people There's not far to go, and they can't allow people to get open quickly.
I think Coach Platt has a lot of support on that Pomona sideline right now. I can't imagine anybody from players to assistant coaches even seriously considering going for a field goal here from the 1-yard line when you have 2 men in your backfield who have rushed for more than 1,400 yards each over the course of the year. You go with the running game.
I don't care if he makes it or not. It's still the best call.
I don't believe he made it. And Montbello feels the same way. The officials feel otherwise, though. They say he broke the plane. They call a touchdown for Pomona. A lot of groans from this side of the field, the Montbello side of the field.
I hope we get a chance to look at it. All he has to do now is break that plane. Maybe we'll get a chance to see it right here. It's Parisi. I don't know if we'll get a shot from this angle. That's a little hard to say.
The extra point attempt by Kirk Moyle. Gets a little under it, but he gets enough of it. And Pomona, with 41 seconds left in the first half, takes a 17-14 lead over Montbello.
I tell you, great effort by Montbello. Great effort. Those kids have a lot to be proud of. They made Pomona, in a sense, go the distance there. And heck, you know, they're only 2 points down. This game's far, far from being over. And with that kind of speed, it only takes one play.
It was a long, long drive. 15 plays, 76 yards for Pomona. And with little time left in the first half, the Panthers have a lead again. Much higher scoring game than you or I would have realized, Dom. I believe 17-14 could have won this game. That could have been after 2 halves of play.
I think anytime you have 2 running teams and they both play good defense, you expect a low-scoring game. But as you pointed out, it hasn't quite been that way. And I think that both offenses have the capability of putting points on the board, particularly Montbello, and quickly.
There are a lot of people on that Montbello sideline shaking their head. They still don't believe that Parisi got in for the touchdown. But the only opinion that counts is the one of the men in the striped jerseys, the officials.
I tell you what, Les, regardless of the outcome here, I can promise you, Coach Gregory will put that tape on and he'll look at it 10 times.
Elvis squibs the kick, taken by a running back, Harvey Patton. So he knows what to do with the ball, and he gets it across the 35. 35 seconds left in the half. Will Montbello go to the air for that quick strike, or will they stick to the ground where they have just as good a shot as having a big play?
I don't know if Coach Gregory has the kind of confidence in the passing game that would probably afford him that kind of decision to go to the air, to try to look for the big play before the clock runs out.
Well, we've seen Ollie Williams down on the field before the game, and we've seen him throughout the year, and he does have a pretty good arm. They just don't get a lot of repetition at the passing game.
You know,
he is going to throw, and he's going deep. And he had a wide open receiver, but it's picked off by Quintana. And all of a sudden, Pomona could be looking at a field goal situation. However, there are only 4 seconds left on the clock.
And I believe Pomona has no timeout, Beth. You see Ollie Williams straight drop back, goes to the fade route. It just means a streak down the field.
Wide open Chris Sanders, but he overthrew him.
Right. Good defensive play. Pomona takes it, has an opportunity here, but I believe the clock's going to run out on him.
And it does. We are at halftime in the 4A state title game. Pomona on top, 17-14. In a minute, we'll be going down to the field to talk to one of the coaches. But in the meantime, Dom, what does Montbello have to do in that second half to get that lead back?
Well, I think they need to put the odds in their favor. The thing they need to do is, of course, is keep the ball out of Pomona hands so they have more snaps. Montbello needs more snaps because I think the more snaps Montbello takes, of course, the better opportunity, the better chance that they'll have breaking off the big play. And I think that's the big difference
Pomona has gone on some long drives today. They've held the ball quite a long time in the first half. Right now, Marcia is down on the field with Pomona coach Gary Klatt. Marcia?
With me, Coach Gary Klatt, as you said, is this what you expected it to be like?
It really is. You can see Montbello's big play potential and their capability offensively. It's a shootout, and I'm proud of our kids, the way they've hung in there, and I think it's just going to be a great second half. Hope I take my cardiac medicine here at halftime here. It's a great game so far.
You surprised us a little bit at Montbello, too, with use of Schneider, Pratt, and Johnson in the first half. We're going to see more of the same in the second.
Right, we're not going to change. We're going to do basically the same thing offensively and try to throw the ball and run the ball and do what they give us. Obviously, they're a strong defensive football team. When we have some success, they take it away, and then we got to look for something else.
All right, you go get that cardiac medicine, and we'll look for you in the second half, Gary.
Thank you very much.
We'll send it back up top with Pomona leading this one 17-14 at halftime.
All right, thank you, Marcia, and we're going to make a refrigerator break right now. We'll be right back to Jeffco Stadium.
Christmas magic with great waterbed accessories from Big Sur Waterbed.
This bedding package, including 2 Sojourn pillows plus a poly fleece mattress pad, is just $49.99. Or upgrade your old water mattress with a Hibernation Series mattress, combining firmness with wave reduction.
For gifts that say, to all a good night, shop
Big Sur Waterbeds, America's largest.
Milk! The heartland pours it on real tall. Help kick, milk's that kick. The deep south says, come on, y'all. Help kick, milk's that kick. The East Coast drinks milk at work and at play. The high country drinking milk every day. In the USA, there's just the one thing to say. America's favorite help kick milk.
Hi, I'm Connie Salica, and I just put up my last holiday decoration. I know it's unusual, but this red ribbon is a very important decoration. Mothers Against Drunk Driving is asking us to change the meaning of tying one on. As a symbol of your commitment not to drink and drive, tie a red ribbon to any visible spot on your car. Join thousands in making these holidays happier by making them safer. Have a wonderful holiday and tie one on for safety.
Right now, we're going to go down to Grand Junction, Stocker Field, the home of Mesa College, where Scott Broom is standing by with an update from the 3A title game between Grand Junction and Durango. Scott?
Les, thanks very much. It's 7-0 right now. Grand Junction leading the game. They just scored. Durango has taken over the ball for their second possession of the game, deep in their own territory. Of course, Grand Junction, the top-ranked 3A team in the state, led by a high-powered offense, senior quarterback Doug Musgrave. The record-setting quarterback, 42 TD passes so far this season for over 3,000 yards. But as you can see, Durango is on the move. They're led by quarterback Lance Jones. He's thrown for more than 2,000 yards this season. A Southwestern Conference rivalry, Grand Junction 13-0 this season. Durango, second-ranked in the state in 3A, 12-1. The only loss this season was handed to them by this Grand Junction team. Stocker Stadium here in Grand Junction is filled to capacity, more than 7,000 people from both cities. It promises to be an exciting game. Les, back to you.
Thanks, Scott, and don't go anywhere because we'll be coming back to you periodically in the second half here. Dominic, your impressions so far. Anything stand out from the first half of this 4A title game?
Yeah, I think the thing that impresses me right now is that Pomona's ability to adjust, to vary their offense. You know, traditionally, of course, they've been robust, run the ball, and now I think that Gary's come to the realization that he just has to be a little more diversified, and like he pointed out during his interview after the end of the first half, is that they're just going to take what Montbello gives them, and their ability to adjust, I think, has made the difference. On the other side, I think Montbello's still in this game, and the only thing I think that's made the big difference, of course, is Pomona has maintained the ball for great lengths of time, and Montbello needs just more snaps, because I think the odds will definitely shifted in their favor once they get an opportunity to handle the ball more.
Well, you have to wonder with Montbello and all the kids that go both ways if these long drives by Pomona might finally wear them down in the second half. Right now, we're going to go down to Marcia Neville on the sidelines. Marcia?
Thank you very much, Les. We've got quite a game, as you know, going on here. 17-14, Pomona leading Montbello at halftime of this 4A state championship game. Jefferson County Stadium just about packed. Behind me are the Montbello fans, and I'll tell you, Montbello is a school that has a winning tradition that they're feeling this fall more than ever. They're tasting victory in more ways than one, and they've also got some winning observations about the stuff that their school's made of. Our education specialist, Karen Layton, has more.
Montbello High School. During its 8-year history, it has moved from obscurity to the limelight, not only in football, but in its recent second-place winning of the bicentennial competition on the Constitution and Bill of Rights for the 1st Congressional District.
Montbello is not a school that stands still. Its student leaders want the community to know they're working hard to set examples and high goals.
People are becoming more involved in their academics, and they're seeing that it's being important, it's being emphasized, and that you can have all the glory, and you can have spirit, and you can be involved and still maintain your grades.
It's a school that student leaders have an investment in because they believe in the quality of the staff and the parents who are involved.
The community really supports the school. It's like a community school in that the parents will come up here and, you know, help us out with like athletic activities. And any activity that we have, there's always parents there, you know, helping out.
But students admit Montbello is not without its problems. They say that because 62% of the students are black, some members of the community have assumed that gangs have infiltrated the classrooms. Not so, claims Sean Blakey.
I want people to know that Montbello High School doesn't have a bad gang problem. I feel that we don't have a gang problem at all here at the school at Montbello. I feel that exists maybe in the community of Montbello, but not here in the school.
For these students, there is much more to Montbello than misconceptions. It's the high standards they want to talk about.
People aren't involved in fights or, you know, gang problems. Everybody has their grades together. A lot of people are involved in sports as well as being in the top 10% of their class. So that sets a good example for the younger students coming up.
The leaders in the school, they're all academically inclined. Their main goal is to get the best out of their education that they can. And that's the goals of all the seniors at Montbello High School, I can say. And it should be the goals of all the underclassmen that are coming up. And that's the goal that I've seen being set for myself at Montbello High School, and that's what I'm going to remember.
Montbello, a school building a reputation for being on top. Karen Layton, Education Specialist, News 4.
Our thanks to Karen and the students at Montbello High School who participated in that informative report, and also thanks to the students here who are here today showing support for their team. We've got some more excitement. We'll take you to Pomona, too, as halftime continues. We'll be right back.
News 4 specialists, experienced reporters bringing home the stories that touch your life, your business,
inflation and budget deficit issues will definitely have an impact on
your health.
Doctors agree lowering your cholesterol level could be as simple as eating a
your children,
face one of the biggest challenges of all, to teach the next generation of students.
your government.
Lawmakers will be trying to decide how much taxpayers are willing to
In-depth, insightful. Turn to the team of specialists, only on News 4.
Hi, I'm Bill Stewart.
And I'm Renelda Muse. Join us at the City and County Building for an evening of carols, candles, and holiday cheer.
And help us turn on the lights. Friday night, December 9th at 6:30 here in downtown Denver.
Channel 4 invites you to be part of the magic as we turn on the lights.
Then it's the glittering News 4 Parade of Lights. So bring the family and spend this special holiday night with Channel 4.
Friday, December 9th at 6:30 as we turn on the lights in downtown Denver.
Back live at Jefferson County Stadium, halftime of the 4A state championship game. You're watching the Pomona Marching Panthers. They number 65 members strong under the direction of drum major Bill Wichelo. This band will head to San Diego to march in the SeaWorld Holiday Bowl the end of this month. They were 10th place finishers in state competition earlier this year, and they were also first place winners in the Colorado Springs March of Champions. As you take a look at the team that won that competition down in Colorado Springs, the Pomona Marching Panthers, for your halftime entertainment. Pomona, the high school? Well, it's located in northern Arvada, and to learn more about the school, we sent Jillian Rice out to visit there. She found a very young school with a winning tradition, and she also found students hoping that this game just might lead to their first ever state championship.
Pomona High students say this is a friendly school. Here, members of the Student Council host an ice cream social for new students who've just transferred in.
How's your school set up different than ours?
Most people, about 90%, still continues with something we call gymnasium.
Pomona is a school in transition. For 10 years, it's operated year-round and is now going back to a regular school schedule. And it's changing from a 3-year high school to 4, with the addition this year of a freshman class.
I like about coming to the school because the faculty make coming to school worthwhile. I mean, they're really funny and present their material as lecturers really interesting and try to come up with unique ways of teaching.
As student body president, Danielle Edmonds says it's her goal to see that no one is left out of school activities.
I think we have more spirit and there's more activities for our students to do, and there's a diverse type of activities that they're able to do.
Pomona High's athletes have an excellent record, but they've always been a perennial runner-up. 13 times, Pomona Panthers in various sports have made it to the state championships, but they've never won a final game.
We're hoping this is the shot we can...
It's got to happen someday. The odds are in your favor.
Right.
And junior John Sandoval says his positive attitude is reflected everywhere at Pomona.
I enjoy going to school, and I enjoy the students, I think, the most. I think we have an outstanding faculty, but I actually think it's the students that generate a lot of the energy around here. I think it's just a very classy school.
Pomona High, a school with spirit, tradition, and pride. Jillian Rice, News 4.
All right, our thanks to both Jillian and education specialist Karen Layton for taking us inside both Pomona and Montbello High Schools. We're in the middle of a doozy of a championship here. 17-14, Pomona leads Montbello at halftime, and we'll be back at Jefferson County Stadium in just a moment.
The magic happens again at Breckenridge, where authentic Victorian charm mixes with 3 great ski mountains. Save $9 every time you ski. Only $22 at Front Range Albertsons, Safeway, and Breeze Ski Rentals. Remember, there is a Breckenridge difference. Come, take another peek.
Presents Sunday Night with hosts Jules Holland and David Sanborn, presenting today's best musical talent. This week's show features R&B great Al Green and rock legends Joe Walsh and Jack Bruce, plus the down-home sounds of Highway 101. All this and more on the hottest show on any night, Sunday Night.
Sunday night at midnight on Channel 4.
17-14, Pomona leads at halftime over Montbello. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights with Dominic Capra, our game analyst. And Dom, this is Pomona's first touchdown. Parisi from 2 yards out.
Just one of their base plays. They do a good job up front. You can see the good hole up front by their guard and their tackle, Habercorn and Clark. Good movement off the line.
Well, Pomona went up 10-0, but not for long, because Montbello's Harvey Patton dances down the sidelines and gets Montbello a touchdown.
Patton is not only thick and strong, but he has good speed. Breaks the tackle of Snyder, blazes down the sideline, breaks another tackle. He's big and strong. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. It was a big play for them. Got him back in the ball game.
Going to take another look at that from another angle now. You'll see Roxy Caminello, the Pomona linebacker, has a good shot at him, just can't make the play.
Again, we see the linebackers Pomona on pursuit, but his strength, and Snyder's no small player. Just a good effort, good balance on the part of Patton.
This made the score 10-7. And then Montbello takes a lead with, surprisingly enough, a pass from Ollie Williams to Byron Henry.
Good call. I think they caught Pomona off guard a little bit. Excellent catch by Henry. Takes a good shot and still hangs on to the football.
That gave Montbello a 14-10 lead, but with less than a minute to go in the first half, it was that man Parisi again taking it over for Pomona.
The same play as we saw on the coming out with the first replay. Just the good job up front by Clark and Habercorn. Good movement off the football. I tell you, it's been super right here is the job that Clark's done filling in at the left guard spot for Kevin Smith.
Some halftime stats. You see they're a lot more even than they were after the first quarter. In fact, Montbello, with that one long run by Patton, has taken over the lead in rushing yards, 120 to 108 for Pomona. Passing yards, a lot more than we ever thought would be up on the board for the game, maybe, and we're seeing him at the end of the first half.
I think what's happening, Les, is Montbello is starting to settle in a little bit. I think they had the championship game jitters a little bit. Now they got the first half out of the way. I think it's going to be a tough ball game throughout the second half.
Both coaches were very honest with us before the game. Gary Klatt said he was nervous. Ben Gregory said he was a little nervous. Of course, Klatt has been here before. Pomona has been here before in 83 and 86. Have not won the state title, though. Cherry Creek beat the Panthers both years, and this is the furthest Montbello has ever been. In fact, from Montbello perspective, this is only the second year Ben Gregory has been a head coach on any level, so you can understand the butterflies.
I tell you, having the opportunity to talk to him, I'm really impressed with both of them, and I mean that sincerely. Ben Gregory is kind of a no-nonsense kind of guy. He thinks the key to being success is just working hard. He instituted a weight program during the summer. He got involved in a 7-on-7 passing skeleton where you just bring out the skilled people and go against another team's defensive skilled people. So they're committed to having a good football program and not just being a flash in the pan at Montbello, and that's a real credit to Ben Gregory. On the other hand, we have Gary Klatt, of course, and I think that the fact that he's been here before, he's been in the playoffs 7 consecutive years is a testament to the fact that they have a well-established program, and I think probably one of the best built programs in the state of Colorado.
Well, Coach Klatt has been under fire in a much more dangerous venue than a football field. He was a Marine Corps officer, and he served in Vietnam, so he knows what pressure is like. Really, I don't care where you're from or where you're working, whether it's on stage or in front of a camera, or if you're going to make a presentation in front of the chairman of the board, if you don't have butterflies in a situation like this, something is wrong with you. I know you in 1984 with that North Glen team that took the state championship, you were nervous before that game, weren't you?
You bet, and your point is exactly right. If you're not nervous, you probably shouldn't be here. If you're not nervous, you probably won't get here to begin with. So I think that's a real valid point, and I think that's what this game's all about, getting excited.
All right, we'll come right back to Jeffco Stadium.
Have you ever wondered what a baggage handler might take on vacation? What everyone should take. Samsonite's Glutton for Punishment. Get Samsonite's Glutton for Punishment, because no one knows what goes on behind closed doors.
Hi, I'm Bill.
And I'm Renelda Muse. Join us at the City and County Building for an evening of carols, candles, and holiday cheer.
And help us turn on the lights. Friday night, December 9th at 6:30 here in downtown Denver.
Channel 4 invites you to be part of the magic as we turn on the lights.
Then it's the glittering News 4 Parade of Lights. So bring the family and spend this special holiday night with Channel 4.
Friday, December 9th at 6:30 as we turn on the lights in downtown Denver.
This will shock you. Santa can be bought. For money, he'll come to your house, your business, your party. He won't even check whether you've been bad or good, for goodness sake. Oh, I know. The money goes to the Mile High Child Care Association, a United Way agency that helps hundreds of needy families and kids, but we might as well call this place Rent-A-Santa.
Rent-A-Santa? Ho, ho, ho.
Well, I suppose it is Christmas.
Interesting scenario here. The clock is winding down, and the official had to go into the Montbello locker room to tell the Warriors to come out and get ready for the second half. Now, Dom, if I understand things correctly, number one, an official shouldn't be going into the get them, and number two, they can be penalized.
Well, I can just tell you what the rule book says. The rule book says that it's the head coach's responsibility to make sure their team is on the field with a 3-minute warm-up. It is kind of unusual to have the referee come in and get you. Now, the interesting thing is that we'll see how the referees are going to handle the situation, whether it's going to be a penalty or not.
If it is, the ball will be moved up 15 yards on the kickoff, Pomona's favor. Something else we need to talk about. Pomona, at the beginning of the game, won the coin toss and elected to kick off, or I shouldn't say elected, Montbello got the choice when Pomona deferred, and Montbello decided to receive the kickoff. So it looks like pretty good strategy, Pomona deferring the winning of the coin toss, correct?
I especially agree right now, because given the situation, if they do call the penalty, Pomona's going to get the ball, and they're going to have excellent field position, and they just scored right before halftime.
So they had just scored, and they'll get the ball again to start the second half.
So it'll be interesting right here, I think, to see if they really, how the referees handle this situation in a championship game.
All right, Marcia is on the field right now with head coach Ben Gregory. Marcia?
Thank you, Les. I guess a little confusion there at halftime. What's the situation right now?
We didn't get back out here on time. We're going to start this half with a 15-yard penalty. We didn't need that right now. We need to get ourselves back in this football game as quickly as we can.
What'd you talk to the guys about at halftime, and what are we going to see here in the second half?
We got to make a couple of defensive adjustments. Basically, what we got to do is get a little greater effort and start tackling some people out here. We're not playing our game right now.
Is this the kind of game you expected it to be?
Yeah, it is, and we knew it was going to be like this. We got to stay in it, and we got to fight and scrap a little bit more.
All right, we'll be looking for the fighting and the scrapping. Thanks a lot. Coach Ben Gregory, gentlemen, we look forward to an exciting second half.
So Montbello, as you hear, will be penalized. Montbello will be kicking off 15 yards further back from its own 25-yard line, Dominic, correct?
Well, what they'll be doing, Les, is they'll be moving the ball up to, excuse me, you're correct, I'm sorry, yes, they'll be moving the ball back, and that will allow Pomona to have a much better opportunity at great field position.
With a decent run back, they can be starting with the ball from midfield, which is exactly what Montbello didn't want, because Montbello right now down by 3 points already.
Well, I think as we look at the situation, the difference might be of being here before and not being here. You know, this is Coach Gregory's first time in the championship game. Gary's been here before, and Montbello is behind, so there's a lot of things they want to talk about at halftime, make sure they make the most of the second half. And time gets away from you. In all fairness, you know, there's a lot of things you're concerned about.
Come over here and get the crowd.
There's a mini Warrior fan. Well, he's not smiling, maybe because the Warriors are down by 3 points. But a whole half of action to go. The officials right now will explain the penalty to the crowd. Well, the microphone not working, but with this high technology we use these days, you never know what's going to work and what won't. Regardless, the ball goes back 15 yards. Montbello and Dee Wallin will be kicking off from the 25-yard line.
Well, I think the thing that strikes you, Les, whether you're involved in the game on a weekly basis or not, is that most people think, well, you're late, so it should be delay a game. But it's not. It's unsportsmanlike, and it's 15 instead of 5.
Plus, they don't get the time to stretch that they might need otherwise, unless they did some stretching in the locker room.
Well, I think that's why they make it 15, because they hope to prevent injuries.
The kick is to the 25, and that's Kyle Rago returning it. He's hit hard at the 40.
He did fumble the ball, but they're going to blow the ball dead.
Jackson making the tackle. So it's not as bad as it could have been for Montbello. Pomona will start with the ball from its own 39-yard line.
It appears that Coach Gregory's having some troubles with his phones, and if he's like me, he doesn't like that.
His headphones, you mean?
Exactly.
Give to Parisi.
Handoff taken by number 23.
It's a couple yards.
When we talk about the headphones, they're so important to a football coach because you really don't have a very good field of vision when you're on the sideline. It's the guys in the box, your assistants in the box, who can do a much better job of telling you what they're doing to you offensively or what they're doing to you defensively, the alignment, kind of things that maybe can help you be successful either offensively or defensively.
2nd and 6 from the 43. This is Lance Pratt. Oh, a nice stiff arm. And gets tripped up before he really breaks a long one. He gets past midfield.
Again, an excellent run by Pratt. And a good job by Derek West getting out in front. But I tell you right now, what's making that play possible is they're doing a good job of neutralizing at the end spot. They're allowing those backs and, again, West to turn the corner. And that's why this has been such a big play for them.
Every time Lance Pratt has touched the ball, whether on the ground or in the air, it's been a good-sized gainer. I know his stepmom is thrilled with the results so far. His stepmom is Laura Haase, the athletic director at Pomona. 1st and 10. This is Parisi, hit by Bill Polk before he can get much.
Excellent read by Bill Polk. Step right up, fill the off-tackle gap. Good read.
Pomona moving the ball pretty easily, just like they did in the first quarter.
Off-tackle play to Parisi. We see Polk stepping up. Good hit. Boy, that's picture perfect.
Second down, 8 yards for Pomona. This time it's to Pratt again, and he's got some more room. Gets it across the 40, down to about the 39.
Wes, I think that was a great example of what I was talking about earlier. That time, West did not even get out the guard, and the play was still successful because they're doing a good job at the line of scrimmage. Again, sealing off the outside, the perimeter, allowing Pratt to turn the corner. Montbello got a lot of penetration that time and didn't allow West to get out, but the play was still successful.
He picked up 5 yards on the play, so it's 3rd and 3 for the Panthers. Only one running back behind the quarterback, Andy Johnson. 3 receivers split wide right, but they go to Parisi up the middle, who gets the first down, and Moore stays on his feet almost to the 25.
Pomona came out, and they gave Montbello a different look, came out and tripped 3 immediate receivers to the right, and just came back with the inside trap or foot guard trap and tried to maybe catch Montbello off guard a little bit, thinking that Montbello might think they were going to throw the ball and instead of run the trap.
New man in the game for Montbello, number 12, Wes Samuels, made the tackle on that play. 5'9", 150-pound junior. Again, just the one back, Parisi behind Johnson, 1st and 10. Johnson will throw. Evades one tackler, gets it off. A little wide to Schneider.
Well, Les, I'll tell you, the thing that was interesting to me right there is that time they didn't release Pratt out into the flat. And they kept him inside. And, of course, that meant one less receiver out in the field of play that Johnson could have hit.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Montbello 26. Andy Johnson, about a 45% passer. Had a bad knee injury last year, kept him out most of the year. Knee is rebuilt now, working very well. He used to run a 4.5 40. He's not quite as fast, but fast enough to play in the state title game. This is Parisi over the middle. Drags a few tacklers down with him to the 20.
Pomona having a lot of success with the trap. They had a lot of success last week against Thornton. The reason they're having success here is just like last week. Those tackles are coming down the linebackers, getting in their face, and that ties them up. And that's who has to stop the trap. They have to step up and stop the trap.
It'll be 3rd and 3 yards to go for Pomona from the 20. Parisi, the man. Boy, he is a bull, isn't he?
He is truly one of the hardest runners I've seen this year for sure. I tell you, he just ducks his head, and he's going to pick up positive yards. Now you can see why he never gets thrown for a loss.
He didn't get the first down, too.
He's always got those feet turning.
That's what the coach will tell you. No matter how many men are on your back, keep those feet pumping because you might be able to carry him a couple more yards. And Parisi does that so well.
And I'm sure we're going to see this, too, Les. The thing he does so well is he squares his shoulders when he hits the line of scrimmage.
First and 10 from the Montbello 16-yard line. It's time to Schneider wide. Across the 15.
A sweep that time to Schneider. They've had a lot of success going the other way. Now they turn to come to their right, and not quite as successful, but still we're able to pick up a couple of yards.
Well, if you're wondering which team around the state, which school has won the most state titles, that honor belongs to Lyman. Most state titles in any class, 13 outright titles, and right behind them the Fort Collins Lambkins, the second most titles, 11 outright, and Fort Collins shared another. Both these teams going for their first title. It's 2nd down and 8. This time Parisi stays on his feet, gets it to the 5, and another first down.
This is the kind of mode that Pomona wants to be in. Right now, they're just coming right at you. They're getting off the football. They're maintaining. They're driving you off the ball. Right here, we're going to see good movement from Pomona's offensive line. We get a lead back for Parisi, the off-tackle play. That just goes to show you how much, how aggressive and how much penetration the offense is getting, because Snyder's not even going down the lead block until they get well into the secondary.
He's not only a bull, he hits that line quickly, and before you know it, your defensive backs are having to make the tackle. First and goal from the 5. Parisi again, tripped up quickly.
Good job on Montbello's part. They got great penetration that time. Number 70, Aaron Shaw. That's front 4. Coby Stewart, Antoine Torrey, and Freddie Smith.
You know what I'm surprised about with Parisi? He's a baseball catcher, and he spends all that time down in a crouch. You would think he'd be harming his knees some, but it doesn't look like his knees are bothering him here while he's carrying the ball.
I think catchers have a reputation of being tough, hard-nosed guys, and I'm going to tell you something. Parisi plays that role well.
2nd down and 4 from the 4. This time it's the second man through. Pratt, is he in? I believe the official is calling him down on the goal line. In high school, remember, you don't need anybody to touch you. It's as soon as your knee goes down, that's where the play is called dead.
Great second effort here. We're going to see the double dive. Good movement off the line of scrimmage. Fake to Parisi. Then the handoff to Pratt. Breaks it outside. Again, good lean, good body lean, good balance. Knee did go down. Good call.
3rd and 1 from the 1. The main man, Parisi, and he is in. Pomona, once again, with a big lead.
Great movement off the line of scrimmage. Number 72, Rick Rensick, 6'5", 200 pounds. Derek West, 6'6", 205. Brian Diet, 6'5", 225. They've got some horses.
That sounds more like a basketball team. 6'5", 6'5", 6'6". That's the right side. Excuse me, the left side of the Pomona Panthers line. The point after will be put up by Kirk Moyle. And it's good. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter, and Pomona now with another 10-point lead, 24-14.
The Giant. Leo Payne. Hyundai. The best feature about Leo Payne's new Hyundai facility? That's right, you can own, not lease, a new Hyundai for just $49 a month with no money down. Plus, get free air on every remaining 88 GLS in stock. And with Leo's special financing, credit problems are no problem. Leo Payne. The king of the automotive junk.
There's more
more than one way to decorate a Christmas tree, and the Art Reach Festival of Trees will convince you of that. Hi, I'm Kristen McCloskey.
And I'm Ed Green. The festival is celebrating its 10th anniversary, and over 100 trees and wreaths have been donated. I know one of our favorites is that tree with all the candy canes and champagne glasses on it.
It's a wonderful place to get into the spirit of Christmas. So come to the Festival of Trees.
At Corrigan Hall, December 1st through the 4th.
Another very long drive for the Panthers. 13 plays, 61 yards, culminating in the Parisi 1-yard dive for the touchdown. And I brought it up before, Dominic. I've got to believe that Montbello, with so many two-way players, has got to be getting tired after all these long drives and then having to come back and play offense.
There's 6 players now, Les. They have to turn right back around and play offense. And I believe in the second half it will have a determining factor.
Joey Turner returns the kick, but not very far. Doesn't even get it to his own 20.
Great effort on the kickoff coverage by Pomona. They're excited. I think they're starting to sense the opportunity here. From their perspective, they'd definitely like to put Montbello away. On the other side of the coin, we look at Montbello. And again, they have tremendous speed. They can get back into this game with one snap of the football.
Ollie Williams, the pitch to Malloy. Gets to the 24.
Excellent job on defense. Good pursuit.
Kyle Rago and Brian Diet on the pursuit.
This is what Montbello has to do. They have to get the ball to the perimeter and take advantage of Williams and Malloy's speed.
Second down and 5. This is Malloy again, across the 25. Matt Swenson makes the tackle for Pomona. Matt Swenson had a brother who played here 3 years ago at Pomona. So he knew going into the program, success was expected. And they're getting it today. We're down under the 4.5-minute mark in the third quarter. 3rd down and 4 for Montbello. Williams, the pitch again. This time it's number 3, Mark Cruz, a track star who never got out of the blocks.
Excellent job on pursuit.
And it's a punting situation again for Montbello. 4th down and 5. In fact, Cruz lost a yard on that play. Number 82, Myron Dawson, back to punt. And for Pomona, it'll be Rago and Quintana waiting for the kick. Nice kick. Quintana fields it at the 25. Tries to jump over a couple tacklers, but didn't get much height and didn't get much yardage.
You know, Les, Ben Gregory, the head coach, told both of us he didn't have a lot of faith in the kicking game, and I thought he punted well.
He has. And as we go to a commercial, Pomona will have the ball and a 24-14 lead.
You know me, I'm dealing that car from Cherry Creek down the road, Foothills, Fort Collins, and we're making this your best Christmas ever. Buy any new car, truck, or van and get $2,000 cash back. $2,000 cash to spend any way you want, for Christmas, vacation, whatever, plus get a truckload of toys for the kids. Even prices 7-8% financing or factory rebate. No payments till spring, and no money down on over 700 vehicles in stock. Plus $2,000 cash. We want your business and want you to have the best Christmas ever. See us now at Dealing Center's #1 Cherry Creek Dodge Road, Foothills, Fort Collins.
Again with the magic of the Nutcracker. For tickets, call 290-TIXS. Presented by the Colorado Ballet and Channel 4.
Well, you see the view from the Montbello sideline. Not a happy bunch on this side of the field. down by 10 points. Want to remind you the Dan Reeves Show every Monday night at 6:30 right here on Channel 4, live from the KCNC studios. Ron Zappolo talks with Coach Reeves about what happened in Sunday's game. This Monday, they'll be talking about the LA Raiders because the Broncos play the Raiders tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here on Channel 4. We've got it all for you. And we've got the 4A title game right here. Pomona has the ball and gets it across the 35.
By number 20, Parisi.
That was Parisi running it.
Montbello cannot allow Pomona to maintain the ball like they did in Pomona's last drive. Pomona maintained the ball for 13 plays and 6 minutes. As we go along here, time is going to become more and more of a critical factor. And Montbello needs to get the ball in their hands and make something happen to give the ball to big players.
2nd and 7. The pitch to Schneider. He's got some room. Great play by Eric Winn, though, to break up the blocking and get to Schneider and ride him out of bounds. Right now, let's go down to Marcia on the sideline. Marsh?
You know, let's talk about that elusive ingredient, momentum. I'll tell you, things are really popping over here on the Pomona sidelines. With me here, Athletic Director Laura Haase. Laura, have things been different and overly excited at school this week?
I think very much so. We feel like it's our year, and so the kids have really gotten into it, the staff's gotten into it, and we've had a tremendous week.
Different perhaps than the other state championship finals you've been in where you haven't won it all, maybe?
I think we've got a lot more confidence than we've ever had. This is a group of kids that have set a goal, and they're going to get it.
Les mentioned earlier in the game you're the stepmom of Lance Pratt, and you said to me he's had some problems this week.
He's been very sick this week. He's been sick actually for the last 3 or 4, but this week he's rested a lot, and this was a big game for him, so we're glad he's healthy and doing well.
So far, so good. Laura Haase happy so far, as well as the fans here on the Pomona sideline, but you can't count Montbello back. Can't count Montbello out. We'll go back upstairs, and I'll get it right next time.
All right, Marcia, thank you. Pomona couldn't convert the 3rd down situation, so they will be back in punt formation, Joe Parisi. And Pomona a little confused right now, so they take a timeout. In the meantime, we're going to go to Grand Junction and Durango, the 3A state title game in Grand Junction with Scott Broom. Scott?
Thanks very much, Les. Here at Stocker Stadium, it's halftime now. Grand Junction leading the game 13-0. A well-played game this first half, but Durango has not been able to score. They've been stopped on some major possessions. They've gone for it on 4th down plays. They've tried everything they could, and they still haven't been able to score. The Grand Junction team, led by quarterback Doug Musgrave, is doing extremely well. And here in Grand Junction, the crowd is very excited. About 7,000 people here from both of the cities. This is quite a 3A championship game. Les, back to you.
Thanks, Scott. Don't be surprised at how low scoring that game is. The closest game undefeated Grand Junction had all year was against the Durango Demons, and that score was 27-16. So Durango knows what it has to do to win that 3A title game against Grand Junction. However, they might not be able to do it. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Pomona will be punting the ball away. Joe Parisi, pretty good punter, 39 yards on the average this year. Gets off a decent one. That's Byron Henry, who will try to return it. He is ridden down across the 25-yard line.
Great effort by Kelly Albus on coverage. We call him the hit man, and he's down there to make first contact.
Well, we've got to hit a commercial right now. We'll be right back at Jeffco.
From your favorite channel come your favorite shows. Now you can be the first to show them off with exciting apparel exclusively at Joslin's. Our new NBC store has T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and more. They make great holiday gifts that come in all sizes. L.A. Law, Late Night with David Letterman, even that lovable Elf. Show off your favorite or put on the peacock. Just let your colors show. Now appearing at these Joslin stores. Brought to you by NBC and Channel 4.
Never pay a real estate commission again.
You've probably seen our Seller's Choice commercials many times. We'd like to thank the many buyers and sellers who've made our service successful. The one question we hear most often is how successful is Seller's Choice? In the past 6 months in this market, we've had requests for over $97 million worth of real estate. We call that success. Avoid commissions. If you're buying or selling real estate, call Seller's Choice today.
Well, Dom, I think it's time Montbello went to the passing game. They're running out of time here. Less than 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They're down by 10 points. We'll get to see what kind of arm Ollie Williams has. If you're wondering, he's thrown just 4 interceptions this year. He's about a 50% passer. Hasn't thrown a lot of touchdown passes, but he's going to have to come up with possibly 1 or 2 here.
We see Pomona in man coverage, so with the kind of speed that Montbello has, we'll see how that helps their cause any.
Going deep, but he overthrows Chris Sanders. Sanders did have a step or 2 on the man covering him, Kyle Rago.
When you get in this kind of situation, your good athletes have to emerge. They have to make the big play. They have to turn things around for you. And, of course, a lot of that burden will lie on Ollie Williams' shoulders. But he is a great athlete, has good speed, and I think his arm is not bad at all. He just doesn't get a lot of reps. But I think he can throw the ball down the field and give you the big play in the air.
Throws a nice, tight spiral. Gives the ball to Malloy here. Doesn't get much. Up to about the 29.
You know, Les, we've talked about platooning, and we talked about catching up with you as the game transpires, and you have 6 or 8 kids going both ways, and they start to get tired. But I think maybe here is time to point out what we talked at the outset, that when you don't have a football team where you're platooning, that you can get a kid a lot of reps, it really does kind of limit your offense, because you can't do as much in the offensive scheme as you'd like to, because you have players going both ways.
3rd and 8. Williams will throw. Good pursuit. Decides to run with it. Gets it across the 35, but might be a yard or 2 short of the first down.
Very aggressive play by Sean Clark, knocking Williams out of bounds. We're going to see Williams straight drop back, gets flushed out of the pocket, starts to scramble to his right, can't find anybody. Gets a lot of pressure from Diet, starts down the sideline. We're going to see an excellent hit by Sean Clark, making sure that Williams doesn't get away down the sideline.
And some excellent camera work from our man on the sidelines down there. So they play very well from the viewfinder of David Gregg. This is Myron Dawson having to punt the ball away. And a fair catch is called for. So Pomona will start with the ball from its own 30-yard line. 54 seconds left in the third quarter, and Pomona still with a 10-point lead.
Good heady play by Kyle Rago, Les. Called for the fair catch. Doesn't want to make any mistakes. Doesn't want to give Montbello a good field position.
I know you have a whole quarter to go here, Don, but on 4th down back there with 1 or 2 yards to go, if you're Montbello, do you go for it and take that chance?
I tell you, given the nature of their offense, Les, I'm not sure I do. You know, I think when you're running football team, you got to look for a little better field position. But, you know.
Pomona in a passing formation with 1 running back, but they give it to that 1 running back, Parisi, and he's up to the 35.
Now, we've seen this throughout the course of the game. Pomona comes out, and the trips are 3 receivers to one side, and they come in with the inside trap or the guard trap with Parisi.
This continually keeping Montbello off balance. The Warriors not knowing what's going to be thrown at them, and I think that's really the story from the beginning here. I don't think Montbello expected Pomona to pass the ball and pass it as effectively as the Panthers have. Same formation with those 3 receivers. This time Johnson will throw it. And again, a wide open Brian Schneider.
Boy, what a great route by Brian Schneider. It looked like he was going to go and run the wheel or the out and up, and he came back for the football. Tremendous route. What an athlete.
So he fakes going deep and comes back to the ball.
Here comes Johnson rolling to his right. We see Frizzy out front with Pratt blocking, and we see Schneider right here coming back for the football, pulling up, leaving the defender behind him. Just superb route. Gary told me he was an excellent receiver. There's no doubt after that catch.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. Pomona up 24-14. We'll be right back.
Pride is shining through, bringing us back to Colorado.
Christmas after Christmas, Bob Hope has traveled the world to honor American troops far from home. This year, he's traveling to Denver to help build a memorial tribute dedicated to all Colorado veterans. Hi, I'm Ed Green, asking you to help see that dream through. Join us here at Lowry Air Force Base for a black tie evening with Bob Hope live on stage. It's the Bob Hope Christmas Show, Tuesday, December 20th in Hangar 1. Don't miss your chance to help Bob Hope continue his lifelong tribute to our American veterans.
Troubleshooter Tom Martino on News 4 at 5.
You know, a few minutes ago, Marcia Neville was on the sideline interviewing Pomona Athletic Director Laura Haase, and Laura said that the student body was very enthusiastic this week in Pomona. Well, Gary Klatt, the head coach, used a different word. He said everybody in the community, from the students to the parents to the people in the neighborhood, were really wired. There was an electricity throughout all week. He was afraid his kids would be swept up in it and lose focus. The fact that they were actually having to play a game on Saturday, well, they haven't lost focus. They are well in control here as we start the fourth quarter from Jeffco Stadium. This is Lance Pratt, loses his footing, gets it up to about the 49.
Again, Carey's doing a good job of keeping Montbello off balance. A little inside counter from the wingback position with Pratt. You know, you have to admire Gary right now. You know, he's not pulling in the horns. You know, he's coming out in trips. He's doing a little counter. He's not afraid to throw. Again, I think that Pomona sees the situation for what it is and wants to seize the moment.
Coby Stewart made that tackle. He's 6'2", 185, a junior. He'll be back next year. Meanwhile, Pomona has a 2nd and 10 situation from its own 48. Johnson will throw.
There you go, Harv. There you go.
Good pursuit by Antoine Torrey. Kind of flustered Johnson. Couldn't get enough mustard on the pass to Schneider. Antoine Torrey, some good pursuit. He is by far the biggest man on this Montbello team. 6'2", 245 pounds. Good student, smart player.
Johnson short on that one, but I tell you, he's showing a great deal of poise today. He fits in the offense all so well, you know. He's just a cog in the wheel, and he's smooth.
Every year, Pomona seems to come up with a quarterback who's not spectacular throwing the ball, but knows what to do when he has the ball in his hands. Last year, it was Sam Hudgens. This year, Andy Johnson. 3rd and 10.
Excuse me, that's good mechanics on their part.
He's going deep. To Kelly Alvis. It's intercepted, though. Ollie Williams, the quarterback, also playing defensive back, picks it off. Look at him wind his way downfield. There is a flag on the field. And a hurt Pomona player. The hurt player is Kelly Alvis. I think we're going to get a clipping call here, Don. Let's take a look at it.
We have a clip on the run back.
Right, shoot it to his left. Johnson's been pretty accurate, but not so that time. We're going to see we might catch the tail end. We can see the clip right there. And he looks like he's hurt. Williams takes the ball down the field, and he's got those great feet. Boy, I tell you right now, that almost looked like another clip.
Well, the clip was on the return after the interception, so Montbello will keep the ball. The Warriors will just have to start with it from, it looks like, their 11-yard line. Ollie Williams, their quarterback, also brought into the game in crucial situations, and it is crucial time for Montbello right now. He's brought in as a defensive back. In fact, Ben Gregory says he'd probably be one of the best defenders
Clipping on the run back. It'll be 1st down.
If he played there more often. There you hear the call. 1st and 10 for Montbello. It's their own 5-yard line. Got a long way to go.
Excuse me, Montbello must take this opportunity and make something happen.
They give to the first man through. That's Patton. He gets nowhere. Brian Dyett on the tackle.
Great individual contest right there, Les. Dyett and Patton.
Patton comes up limping.
Stop made by 42 Spence, number 88, Dyett.
He's asking to come out of the game, and he will. Replacing him will be Donald Wallin, the 6'2", 215-pound senior. Now, whenever a player is injured on the high school level, he must come out for at least one play. The clock is stopped, and the player must come off the field for at least one play. It looks like Harvey Patton might be coming out for more than just one play the way he's limping.
They've called on him quite a bit up inside with the fullback lead and the fullback carry. I'm sure he's a tired young man, and that's when it makes you susceptible to injuries, of course. Regardless, Montbello must make something happen here. The clock is definitely a factor.
And they're going to have to go to the air. It's 2nd down and 8 from their own 8-yard line. The pitch is to Willy Malloy, who tries to turn it outside. He gets it across the 10, almost to the 15.
Good tackle by Gurley, number 17.
He'll be short of the first down, however.
We're going to see the pitch from Williams to Malloy on the toss sweep. Malloy kind of takes a step inside and breaks to the outside. We see number 56, Greg Sheriff, on pursuit. But again, it's Leonard Gurley who knocks him off his feet.
Gurley, a 3.9 student, wants to be an engineer and is thinking about going to the School of Mines. 3rd down and 3 for Montbello. Oh, a nice spin-off. This is the man who replaced Harvey Patton. This is number 2, Donald Wallin. A nice run for the first down.
Excellent run by Wallin. He's going to hit it off the right guard. Going to hit and spin, breaks the tackle. Good body lean. Tries to break another tackle. Good strength.
We have 9:23 left in this ball game. If Pomona's going to do it, better do it now. Well, Montbello with that revolving door at the running back situation. Wallin comes out of the game. And number 5, Joey Turner, comes in. He's a sprinter. 1st down and 10 from the 20. They give us to Malloy. Gets it to about the 21. And right now we're going to go down to the sidelines and Marcia Neville. Marcia?
Les, thank you. With me is Virginia Lorbeer. She is the sponsor of the Montbello cheerleaders. As hard as the Montbello football team is working today, the cheerleaders have been working just as hard. They were at the Mile High Regional Spirit, I don't know, what's it called?
Competition, Mile High Spirit Competition.
This morning, 10 o'clock, they were in competition, then rushed over here. What was the purpose of the competition, and what are you going to find out this afternoon?
They'll find out. They're going to award 4 schools an award for going into regional competition in Orlando, Florida, February 28th and 29th, and also to see which school is the best in the area.
So a trip to Florida on the line for these Montbello cheerleaders, and of course the state championship on the line for their championship team. Back up top to Les and Dom. Gentlemen.
We're going to catch tail end of this replay. I'm sorry, Les. We see a pass from Williams to Reynolds, and that's what they're going to need to do more, is try to get in those seams and get the ball to the field as quickly as they can.
3rd down and 1 for Montbello from its own 29. That was a major league hit put on Reynolds by Brian Schneider. Kept him off the first down, kept him away from it. They go to Willy Malloy to try and get the first. This is going to be close.
Boy, again, a good job up front. Clark and Rapola and Gallegos and Swinson. They virtually shut down the inside game except for the breakaway play by Patton, which, of course, we spun out of that play and scored the touchdown.
Officials timeout right now for a measurement. Awfully close to a first down. Pomona players are signaling he didn't get it. And the officials agree. We have 4th down, and I would say about 8 or 9 inches to go.
Academic, they got to go.
No doubt about it. Montbello has to go for it on 4th down. We have less than 8 minutes left in this game, and Montbello is down by 10 points. This could be the ball game right here. The quick pop to Harvey Patton, who's back in the ball game. Evidently a gamer. He limped off 3-4 plays ago, came back on to get a key first down for Montbello. Nothing's going to keep him, a senior, out of this, his final game, the state final.
Quick counter dive here to Harvey Patton, and you'll see what happens. He breaks it, starts to the left and breaks it to his right, and all the Pomona defensive linemen were crashing to the inside.
First and 10 from the 35. Williams will throw. His receiver, though, Mark Cruz, can't hold on to it.
I believe we have a flag.
Let's see what the call is.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense.
I think it's the late hit, pushing Cruz out of bounds from number 21, Rago.
That's a costly penalty, and of course a great benefit to Montbello. The opportunity they're looking for to sustain the drive, keep that drive alive. Now they have to capitalize on it. They're going to make this a ball game in the waning minutes.
Penalty gives Montbello a first down, square in the middle of the field at the 50-yard line. Montbello catching some breaks here. On its fourth quarter drive, they're going to need some breaks.
Interesting thing, Les, is that, you know, Montbello has been taken out of the option game and been forced to throw the ball, which I'm sure is not what they planned on.
That's Ken Kelly in motion. Williams will throw. Screen pass. Won't get much, though. In fact, oh, no, excuse me. He breaks the tackle. Harvey Patton still up. I think a whistle should have been blown there a while back. So forward progress was stopped quite a while ago.
Great effort. Well, I tell you, you can field a team with 11 players like that.
Take a look at it again in the great second, third, and fourth effort by Patton.
We're going to watch the screen set up here. Williams going to straight drop back. You see Patton turn around, square up to the quarterback. Clark tries to put a hit on him, but doesn't wrap him up. He breaks out of it. He's a big, strong kid. Look at those legs breaking out of tackles.
I counted that replay. 7 men had a shot at him. He broke 7 tackles. This is Williams, a nice scamper. That looked like Joe Kapp leaping over the defender across the 40-yard line. Leonard Gurley finally brought him down.
No, Les, we talked about this earlier. When you're in a tight situation, your good athletes have to emerge and make something happen. We saw Patton with a great effort. Now we're going to see a great effort right here from Williams. He's almost sacked. He pulls out of the tackle, breaks another tackle, makes a good move to the outside, picks up another first down. That's what you have to have. Your good athletes have to emerge.
And he is a good athlete. Ollie Williams also plays guard on the basketball team. And perennially, it's a good basketball team at Montbello. First and 10. Williams will throw again. Over the middle. That's number 98, Bill Polk, who makes the reception across the 30.
Nice call, nice play. A little rollout, a boot action, a little play fake.
Boy, Bill Polk has a ton of talent. He's being recruited by most Pac-10, Big 8, and Big 10 schools. He's also their leading tackler.
Williams rose to his right. We see Polk coming across the middle. Williams hits him right in the numbers. And boy, if you're a receiver, that's where you want it. Good call.
You know, Polk is so good at middle linebacker and has so much responsibility on defense. They really don't ask him to do much on offense. They don't throw the ball to him a lot. But he got the first down there for Montbello. And the Warriors are knocking at the door. They're at the 28-yard line. They need a score badly. We have 5.5 minutes left in this championship game.
The momentum has definitely shifted. Now Montbello must capitalize on this shift of momentum.
Williams escapes, goes deep. A Hail Mary, and it looks like it's picked off by Pomona. Kyle Rago came up with the tip pass. 3 or 4 men, offensive and defensive, had a chance at it in the end zone, and little Kyle Rago comes up with it.
Williams, straight drop back. He gets maximum protection. Backs do a good job of picking people up. Then he's forced out of the pocket. Sets his feet. And he's looking for Sanders, number 8, and they all go up. And the ball's tipped into, excuse me, I can't see the number, but it was an excellent play. Great concentration by number 21, Kyle Rago.
Well, they went for it all. Instead of showing a little patience, which might have been more judicial, Montbello throws the ball up into the end zone, and that might have cost them a chance at a state championship. I don't mean to second-guess head coach Ben Gregory, but things were working pretty well when they were grinding it out. Short yardage passes, running the ball up the middle.
Let me play the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
On the other hand, you have to, it's pretty obvious they're going to need 2 scores. Time's starting to run out, and they figure they got to get the big play and they got to get it quick. So, like I said, hindsight is sometimes 20/20, and there's a couple ways to look at it.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll discuss it a little more, Don, okay? We'll be right back. Jeffco Stadium.
Hi, I'm Bill Stewart.
And I'm Renelda Muse. Join us at the City and County Building for an evening of carols, candles, and holiday cheer.
And help us turn on the lights. Friday night, December 9th at 6:30 here in downtown Denver.
Channel 4 invites you to be part of the magic as we turn on the lights.
Then it's the glittering News 4 Parade of Lights. So bring the family and spend this special holiday night with Channel 4.
Friday, December 9th at 6:30 as we turn on the lights in downtown Denver.
There's a postmaster who fulfills his ambition to be a teacher by helping new Americans to read English. There's also a bunch of kids who devote themselves to keeping a bunch of other kids away from drugs. And this man, whose time to care is spent working with bus drivers on their need to be sensitive to the needs of the handicapped. More and more, people are discovering that when they find time to care, it often becomes their very best time.
All right, Dom, I guess what I was trying to say was I thought they could have been more judicious than to just throw the ball up in the air in the end zone and give any number of players a shot at the ball. I don't disagree with going to the end zone. I disagree with the way they went to the end zone. How's that for sneaking out the back door?
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
If the ball's tipped into a Montbello player's hand, so I think you can't fault the decision to go to the air. Of course, maybe you try to throw a little more controlled route underneath and just move yourself up the field, putting yourself in scoring position.
That was Parisi on the carry. We're down to the 5-minute mark in this ball game, and Pomona will try to grind out the clock and the yardage. Let's go to Marcia on the sideline. Marcia?
Yeah, one thought lesson, Dom. We're just ticking down under 5 minutes here, and Montbello's defense all season long has been able to come up with some really big plays. They've got time to force a turnover here. They did it against Thomas Jefferson back midway through the season, so they're not out of it yet, that's for certain.
Parisi again. He's racked up pretty good. He does a good job of staying on his feet, though. Finally out of bounds.
I tell you, Les, if we could award the Iron Man Award, I'd have to give it to Parisi from Pomona and Patton from Montbello. Those 2 kids playing the fullback spot have been just, I think, tough as nails in there today.
Marcia brings up a great point on defense. 24 points Pomona has scored against Montbello, and only once this year has another team scored that many points, and that was in the playoffs also. Rangeview had 28 against Montbello, but Montbello won that game, so Pomona doing a fine job against one of the best defenses in the state. It's 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Montbello has got to stop Pomona right here and force a punt situation. Johnson goes to Pratt, and Montbello does stop Pomona.
Good effort. Defense rose to the occasion, man. Montbello, young linebackers and tough linebackers stepped up and made the play. Pomona came with their sweep. Did not have the kind of success that they had in the past plays.
Harvey Patton and Coby Stewart made the important stop on that play. Harvey Patton getting some work on defense now. Parisi to punt. He shanks it to about midfield, and it rolls out of bounds. So Montbello with some pretty good field position. However, just 3 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. We'll be right back.
I was a shy student. I always sat in the back of the room. That's my best friend, Albert. Somehow he always aimed higher than the rest of us. And Cindy was my first crush. Then one day our class got a new teacher. Alvin learned an important rule of education, and I got my first A. Yeah, there was a teacher who made a difference.
Write and tell us about your teacher who makes a difference. Box 4444 Denver. Then watch for Education Specialist Karen Layton's report.
I was a gifted student. I always sat in the front of the class. Here's Roger.
Hello, I'm Dan Reeves, Channel 4, and I want to remind you that Christmas is the time to care for the needy of Colorado. Show your care by supporting the Salvation Army Christmas Drive. Give to the Channel 4 Share the Spirit canned food drive and drop some change into the red Christmas kettles. Support the Salvation Army Christmas Drive because it's time we all care about Colorado's needy.
Join Channel 4 in sharing the spirit by bringing canned foods to any Albertson, Safeway, or King Soopers location.
We see Parisi dropping the ball, ready to make contact with it. We get good penetration from Coby Stewart, and he makes contact with Parisi, and later on we'll see it. Well, maybe we won't, but Parisi's going to implore the referee asking for roughing the kicker, and he doesn't get it. It was hard to tell if he got his hands on the ball or not. Of course, that would change a great deal.
Well, regardless, it was a short kick, and Montbello will start with the ball on its own 49-yard line. They're going to have to go to the air. Byron Henry in motion. Williams gives it to Patton. Gets some room and gets knocked out of bounds by Quintana. Nice pickup. If they do run the ball, they got to run it towards the sidelines and try and get out to stop the clock.
Montbello came out in the spread formation, tried to spread them out and then run the inside draw play with Patton. Again, he's had most success by breaking it outside and slipping tackles. And that play's no different.
I'm not writing off Montbello when I say this, but just be aware this team loses a lot of fine seniors, but the JV team is undefeated under Coach Chuck Hall, who's the varsity assistant coach. So expect to see Montbello back in the playoffs next year. They've got a good class coming up to play varsity ball. First and 10 from the 34. Flags in the air. Williams will sprint out, keep the ball himself, and get out of bounds to stop the clock. Let's see what the call is.
I didn't have a lot of success guessing at these last week, but I will take a shot here, Les. I think we're going to get illegal procedure
on Montbello.
Illegal procedure, offense.
Illegal procedure, Montbello.
That's why you're the coach, Dom. That'll send Montbello back 5 yards. We have a score from Mesa in the 3A title game. Grand Junction leads Durango 13-7, and Grand Junction threatening to score once again. We'll have all the highlights of the 3A and the 4A game for you, and post-game reaction tonight at 5 o'clock on Channel 4, our newscast. First down and 15 to go for Montbello. Williams to throw. Ball got away from him a little.
Pomona's making it tough, Les. They're playing a combination zone and man coverage. Pomona's in a 2 deep coverage, 2 deep safeties, and 5 underneath, or 5 men covering man for man in the 5 short zone. So it's not going to be easy throwing the ball in these circumstances.
Second down, 15 yards to go for Montbello. Williams will go in the air again. Feels the heat, tries to get away, does, and runs with it. And goes down just short of the 30-yard line.
You know, we talked about this at the intro, but does he have great feet? He's got tremendous quickness.
Montbello calls a timeout. And the big black is winning this one, the black of Pomona. Both teams, I should mention, have black in their uniforms. Pomona being the home team shows its all-black uniform. Montbello, the visitors, in the white jerseys. tell you, Dom, you go down on the field, and the black uniform makes the players look so much bigger. Do you get that impression also?
No doubt, Les. And I think that's something we talk about as coaches, about the advantage of being home, being your dark jerseys, and particularly black. And, you know, you don't think much about that. I know in our situation, we have such young kids, you know, and obviously in our situation, we're going to be outmanned quite a bit, and you go up against the home team, and it does make them look bigger.
Pomona is the home team, and the game is being played here at Jeffco Stadium because last Sunday, Pomona won the coin toss. And obviously chose to play at home. We're down to the 2-minute, 27-second mark. Montbello has 3rd and 9 from the Pomona 32. Williams to the air. He'll run with it and gets it across the 20 and gets the first down.
The reason they're having so much success, or at least Williams is that when he drops back and he breaks out of the pocket, the linebackers are in man coverage, so they run them off, and there's no support from the linebackers, and then he breaks into the secondary, and that's why he's able to pick up some good yardage.
That's why a good, quick quarterback, one who can run the ball, can wreak such havoc. You see it every week with John Elway.
And we see Williams break into the secondary, and the linebackers are gone because they've been run off because they have the backs.
Williams gets the first down. 2 minutes, 17 seconds left. Montbello down by 10 points. Remember, even if they score, they have to get the ball back and score again, at least a field goal. Well, while we mull over the strategy here in the last few minutes, let's go to a break.
The Giant. Leo Payne. Pontiac Jeep GMC, a brand new facility with better service plus clearance prices on all 88s. 88 Pontiac Grand Ams from $98.98. 88 S15 Jimmys from $13,488. And 88 Cherokees from just $13,988. Plus a giant selection of used cars. Leo Payne. The king of the automotive jungle.
Presents Sunday Night with hosts Jules Holland and David Sanborn, presenting today's best musical talent. This week's show features R&B great Al Green and rock legends Joe Walsh and Jack Bruce, plus the down-home sounds of Highway 101. All this and more on the hottest show on any night, Sunday Night.
Sunday night at midnight on Channel 4.
Montbello with the ball, 1st and 10 from the Pomona 19-yard line. Williams will throw. Complete to Patton, who escapes one tackler, but can't escape the second one.
He's been impressive today. Number 45, Harvey Patton. He's going to release from the fullback spot, right into the flat. He's run well, and now he makes, I think, an excellent football catch right here.
Watch the hit Israel Gallegos puts on him.
And he still holds on to the ball. He's a tough kid.
Well, Izzy is going to have a Monday that he'll enjoy for the first time all fall. He hates to run those sprints, Gary Klatt tells me, the Monday sprints. He won't have to run any on Monday. Sign on with Channel 4 this season to help the Mercy Medical Center continue caring for Denver's needy. During the regular season, your pledge for every quarterback sacked by the Broncos will go directly to Mercy Medical Center. So pick up a pledge form at any Gart Brothers, King Soopers, or Wendy's and help the Broncos sack them for mercy's sake. And if you don't, we'll sack Carl Mecklenburg on you. There's your state trophy. Right now, it looks like Pomona is going to be adding it to the trophy case. It will be the first football trophy. It will be the first state title trophy of any kind in Pomona High School history. Williams over the middle. The pass is tipped, but it's brought in by Donald Reynolds anyway. Good reaction to the tip pass. And it looks like we're going to have a 3-point game if this point after is good.
Williams just threw the ball right through the secondary coverage. Just a quick pass right here. Drops straight back, and he just zings it. And Caminello gets his hand on it, but it goes right into the hands, as you said, Les.
Maybe I spoke too soon about the trophy being in the case over at Pomona. Tarantino for the extra point attempt, probably the biggest one of his career, the most important one. And it's good. And all of a sudden, with 2:05 left in the game, we have a three-point game. However, there's a flag on the field.
Winn is backing straight up, gets pretty good protection. Again, just zips the ball right through the coverage, right into the hands Donald Reynolds.
On the kicking tree.
Well, the penalty is against Montbello. They're going to have to kick that one over. They've been penalized every point after this afternoon.
You know, we talked about that at the very beginning, specialty teams playing a big part.
Let's go down to the sidelines and Marcia Neville. Marcia?
All right, Les, just checked in with Harvey Patton, who's icing his left knee here on the Montbello sidelines. Seems he took a hard hit from Izzy Gallegos on that last play he was in for. He says it hurts. It's what he hurt before, but should they be back on offense again, the Warriors, he'll be there with them as they hit the extra point, the needed one, to keep things hopping here at Jefferson County Stadium.
Well, the pressure was on Tarantino to make not one, but 2 extra points, and he comes up with it. Now you have to expect an onside kick from Montbello. There's 2:05 left in this ball game. Pomona leads by 3 points. Montbello has to get the ball back. Well, the Broncos need to win all of their remaining games to ensure a playoff spot this year. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock on Channel 4, the Broncos play the Raiders in Los Angeles. That's the Broncos and Raiders game tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here on Channel 4. And immediately following that game, we will be in the Broncos locker room. Ron Zapolo already on his way to Los Angeles with the team.
Pomona anticipating the onside kick. They got what we call the hands team in. People that have good hands. They're going to take out the regular kickoff return people, the big offensive and defensive linemen, bring in the receivers, defensive backs, offensive backs.
I knew football coaches could come up with some simpler language. You need to make it more obvious. Hands, that's obvious. Tarantino will do the kicking. Normally it's Dee Wallin kickoff, but Tarantino does it that time. Maybe he's better at onside kicks. And Joe Parisi with the good hands, Dominic, catches the ball on the line, drives, and downs it at midfield.
Well, you know, that just shows you, I think, the kind of kid Parisi is. You know, he didn't shy away, let the ball go through. He says, hey, you know, I'm making things happen. I want to step. I'm going to catch the ball and make sure we've got command of the game.
He looked like the baseball catcher he is, chasing the high inside fastball out of the crouch. Maybe that's why he's behind the plate for Pomona every spring. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Pomona will try to do nothing more than eat up the last minute 40 of this ball game. A first down certainly would help, but they might not even need it.
Reese did a good job of wrapping his arms around the ball. He wants to make sure he's secure when he hits that line of scrimmage. They can ill afford a turnover here.
I believe Montbello has just 1 timeout left. Being told they might not have any timeouts left. Either way, they're in trouble. Well, the officials give them a little help right now. An official timeout. A little confusion on the field. Clock winding down. We are approaching the 1-minute mark. They'll probably play it safe. Expect Parisi to get it, and he does.
Handoff take by number 20, Parisi.
He gets across midfield.
Made by number 75.
We're down to 45 seconds. The fans over on the Pomona side of the field already on their feet and cheering as if the trophy is in their hands. 3rd down and 6.
This should be the last snap, Les. Yep.
Flags thrown.
Spoke too soon.
The Pomona players getting that old bucket of Gatorade ready. I would imagine Gary Klatt will be the target. The clock stops with 23 seconds left. Pomona has the ball at midfield and a 3-point lead. 5 yards will be stepped off against the Panthers, so it will be 3rd down and 11. And now the officials are bringing the ball back the other way. Evidently, the penalty not on Pomona, but on Montbello.
We're going to wind it now.
So it'll be 3rd down and 1. The officials thought the penalty, at least the official marking off the yardage, thought it was against Pomona. Instead, it was against Montbello. They moved the ball forward 5 yards, and it's 3rd and 1 for Pomona with 10 seconds left in this ball game. All they need to do is snap the ball and fall down, and that should do it for the Pomona Panthers. The 1988 4A state champs, the first one in Pomona High School history.
It's got to be a great relief for them.
Warriors 21. Presentation of the championship trophies.
Well, we saw them plotting a little bit with the bucket, but they were smart enough to let the whistle blow and the clock run out. Because for the coach, it's not over until it's over.
And just to show you how good and lucky Pomona has been all day, they not only got Coach Klatt, they got a couple of other assistant coaches with the same bucket of water. Well, the Pomona Black is actually very good today. A final of 24-21. Montbello, with a valiant effort in that 4th quarter, made the breaks go their way, caught a tip pass for a touchdown, and knocked this game down to a 3-pointer. But Pomona held on and wins the 4A state championship.
As we look back, I think it'll be Pomona's ability to adjust, be a little more diversified, to break out of their normal set that made the difference. Jerry was not going to relax and let things just happen. He made things happen.
Marcia Neville is on the field right now with one of the victorious Panthers, Joe Parisi. Marcia?
Joe, how does it feel?
You know, it feels great. That's about all I can say right now. Montbello, great team, best team we played all year. I've never been hit harder in my life, I'll tell you that. They're a great team.
Having to play as hard as you did makes it extra special, I would think.
Yeah, it does, but, you know, our line worked extremely well, and our backs worked extremely well, too. Just a great overall, and our defense played a great game, so great overall effort.
You guys are going to go down in history. You are the first Pomona team to win a state title.
Yeah, that's correct. First team. You know, those old things break quick, so I think Pomona's going to start taking a lot more state titles after this.
Okay, congratulations, Joe Parisi. Just one of the factors in Pomona's state championship win against a tough Montbello team here this afternoon at Jefferson County Stadium. Gentlemen?
Well, quite a compliment from Joe Parisi for the Montbello Warriors when you consider that Pomona had to play some pretty tough teams in the Jeffco League, including an Alameda team that went to the semifinals.
Les, I think the thing that Joe was alluding to is they got the monkey off their back. They're going to open some doors here now. The football program is broken, the kibosh, if you will, and I agree with him. I think that this will open the door for more and more state champions to come out of Pomona.
We'll be back with more celebrating from Jeffco Stadium in a minute.
Have you ever wondered what a baggage handler might take on vacation? What everyone should take. Samsonite's Glutton for Punishment. Get Samsonite's Glutton for Punishment, because no one knows what goes on behind closed doors.
Connie Salika, and I just put up my last holiday decoration. I know it's unusual, but this red ribbon is a very important decoration. Mothers Against Drunk Driving is asking us to change the meaning of tying one on. As a symbol of your commitment not to drink and drive, tie a red ribbon to any visible spot on your car. Join thousands in making these holidays happier by making them safer. Have a wonderful holiday and tie one on for safety.
Marcia Neville live on the field with the first ever state championship coach at Pomona High School, Gary Klatt.
Well, I'm a blessed man today. I've been there for 16 years, and we've had an awful lot of really fine athletes and good teams. And I'm kind of numb when you wait 16 years for something like this. It's kind of hard to know what to say other than I just thank God that we were in a position to win at the end. Montbello, tremendously talented football team, extremely well coached, and you could see there at the end that they just really got it cranked up and had a chance to win, I felt like, at the end.
Your heart may be in your throat there at the end.
Oh, it was. There was no question about it. I just was scared to death. They gave the ball to Patton there a couple of times, and then their quarterback, Williams, ran the quarterback draw, or he scrambled. Just tremendously talented kids, and my hat goes off to Coach Gregory and the Montbello football team.
You've got a senior class. I'm sure you're going to be sad to see leave.
Oh, it's kind of hard for me to express my gratitude to those kids. It's been a hard day. I came over, as we were coming over on the bus, I was thinking about all the things that have happened over the 3 years that they've been here, and I love them like my own son.
Congratulations, Coach Gary Klatt and the Pomona Panthers, state 4A football champions after a hard-fought battle with the Montbello Warriors. The monkey is now off Pomona's back. They have won their first ever state championship in any sport, and Montbello has been to their first ever state championship football game. And yes, folks, I think we're going to see them back here again. Dominic, Les?
Dom, you know, I think now when you mention perennial powerhouses in the state of Colorado and you mention the elite programs, you have to include Pomona along with Cherry Creek and the program Fred Tassone has put together over at Cherry Creek.
Well, Les, I tell you, there's no doubt about that. I have the utmost respect for, as you said, the Cherry Creek program and the job that Gary's done. When you're in the playoffs, as many times they haven't gone as far, it is really a credit to the foundation and the leaders of that program.
You see Ben Gregory right there, the head coach at Montbello, telling his kids what a fine job they have done all year, and boy, have they. They came out of a very tough Denver Public League system to get to the finals for the first time in school history. Now, Ben Gregory earlier, a couple of weeks ago, was talking about being the underdog all through the playoffs, and they have been the underdogs, and he said, our kids want respect. If it takes winning state for us to get respect, then that's fine. Well, let me tell you, Coach Gregory, you might not have won state, but you have the respect of everybody around the state after what you did here today and throughout the regular season.
Les, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Coach Gregory, Coach Klatt, and Coach Konechel from Thornton for allowing us into the schools and making themselves available to us. And I think again, it just shows you the kind of people they are, that they care about kids, and I think that was evidenced here today.
I second that motion. And I'd also like to thank David Brill, our spotter in the booth with us today. He and Jeff Shearer helped us through the last couple of weeks of playoffs, helping tell us who made the tackles, who's carrying the ball, and the rest. That's what a spotter does. So should we wrap it up here, Dom? The close of another high school football season. The final score from Jeffco Stadium. Pomona, the state champs, 24. Montbello, the runners-up, 21. We'd like to once again congratulate the Pomona Panthers in winning the Colorado High School Class 4A Championship. The executive producer of today's game was Tom Edwards, produced and directed by Tom Richards, coordinating director Gene Brockreedy. Our chief engineer is Tom Piper, and our engineer in charge is Doug Houston. For Marcia Neville, Dominic Capra, and everybody else at Channel 4, this is Les Shapiro saying so long from Jeffco Stadium.
Today's game was brought to you by the Public Service Company of Colorado, by Miller Stockman, by Samsonite, and by Central Bank, all proud companies for Colorado. and also by Milk, America's Health Kit. This has been a Channel 4 sports presentation.
Andy, wake up! We'll be late for the Children's Museum Toy Trade. Now to December 9th, all kids bring them cheerleaders toys to any Taco Bell restaurant. Oh, yeah, and get a coupon for free admission. And a free toy at the Children's Museum Toy Trade. Bring your toys into Taco Bell today, and then come to the Children's Museum Toy Trade, December 10th and 11th. Andy.
Happy holidays from your friends at Taco Bell and Channel 4.
Experience the magic of the holidays as News 4's Parade of Lights returns bigger and brighter than ever. Hi, I'm Larry Green.
And I'm Kristen McCloskey. Join News 4 Friday and Saturday, December 9th and 10th, for this enchanting march through downtown Denver.
Enjoy the dazzling floats, a cast of delightful characters.
And be a part of our TV audience as we broadcast the parade live Saturday at 1:30.
The News 4 Parade of Lights, presented by United Bank. Join us for this spectacular Colorado tradition.
You're watching News 4, home of the Denver Broncos.
We now join our regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Don't be your friend.
Look at Roth.
Well,
what a year this young lady has had.
Yes. And Roth is the first man to cash $1,000 for Roth in the opening frame.
Hanukkah.
Boy, Roth, you're the luckiest guy.
It's Hanukkah. It's Hanukkah. It's a Jewish holiday. You guys gave me a gift.
You got your share, that's it.
Roth picking up 1,000. Here's Anthony.
$2,000 in this second frame, and Anthony puts the pressure on the other three.
Well, the doomsday stroking machine, Jay, didn't expect him to wait too long before he started to strike. Wouldn't surprise me here if the Medford Meteor X's quickly and starts to make things carry over.
Two-tie, all-tie. Marshall having some fun.
You couldn't do that when Roth was bowling.
Well, he's my doubles partner. I don't want to leave me.
Danny, they keep bowling here, of course. We've got the two-tie, all-tie, but we do have the match within a match. The bowlers vying for the most strikes, and that prize of that 16-foot Sea Ray, beautiful boat from Brunswick.
Boy, if that was a pocket, I'd be doing pretty good, wouldn't I?
Well, that's a fabulous extra prize. You mentioned a game within the game. What I want to see is Mark Roth water skiing behind that boat.
What do you say?
He wants to know if you want to go water skiing.
Can't swim.
Good. Then hang on.
When we come back, we'll be bowling in Game 3 for $5,000.
Wow.
What you eating, Dave?
Nothing, honey.
Oh, you can tell me.
Kellogg's Nut and Honey Crunch.
Looks good, Private. What is it?
Nothing, honey.
Kellogg's Nut and Honey Crunch.
When you've got the special taste of nuts and honey all wrapped up in a hearty crunch, what more can you say? Here's what. New Nut and Honey Crunch Biscuits. Crunchy biscuits of wholesome shredded wheat with that special nut and honey taste inside.
Wow.
Kellogg's Nut and Honey.
Now in biscuits, too.
Crunch.
Changes me. I don't ask
Hey, we can't turn in a verdict while there's still a reasonable doubt.
Bob Swan has a dry shirt, but that doesn't mean he smells good. Because underarm odor isn't visible, he needs Sure Solid, our most effective wetness and odor formula yet. So, Bob, why come to court with a dry shirt and a false sense of security? Tomorrow, get the total protection of today's Sure.
You were right.
And be just as sure about odor as you are about wetness.
Thanks.
We move to frame 3 in the bowling shootout. Marshall Holman, 5,000 up for grabs. All right, Holman. And he's pumped up.
Come on, Lisa. Now's the time to get started, kids. Right here.
Section over here.
We need a tie.
For me a minute ago. Where you
I get that excited in the first place. This is what we got later.
Oh, tough break. She made a good adjustment.
Yep, having to move a touch.
One down.
The interesting thing about this, though, too, Jay, is the fact that the players are only bowling on one lane as compared
you're playing against me now,
to a pair, and so it should be a little easier for them to get lined up there. You see the soft 10 that time, a little help from the head pin, didn't quite get there. So up to Mark Roth here at this point.
Come on, Mark.
Wait
Do
for the
something right.
machine.
Do something right, will you?
He needs the strike to tie. All right. So we have 2 tying in frame 3. And when we go into this 4th frame, we'll be going for 9,000. Earl Anthony now. He may never do it. Remember, strikes are important. We have that beautiful 16-foot Sea Ray boat.
I never did like this game.
He's only won more events than anybody.
Icebreaker. Absolute flush hit here, and solid 10. Bad break for Mr. Anthony. But luckily, Mark Roth struck, so there's a carry.
You get a tugboat playing in the bathtub.
Into the 4th we go.
And now she's first up. You know she's going to strike here, right? I mean, you know.
9,000 the figure now, and Lisa begins. There are results from frame 3. The strikes for Roth and Holman tying things up. A little too high.
Are you having fun yet?
Help me, guys.
Help.
Help me.
Go for it boldly. Yeah, go for it boldly.
She's good at shoot that net, too.
A little high and through the nose there for Lisa. Let's see what happens here on the split conversion.